Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium. The site tonight of one of the most highly anticipated games ever played here. The hottest ticket in Georgia history brings two of the best in the country together. The population of Athens, Georgia might be double what it would be on a normal night, but this is not a normal night.
It's the Bulldogs and the Irish.
This is what college football is all about.
It's not often you get a matchup like this.
Herschel running over people. There goes Herschel. Touchdown. The stadium bananas here.
For the first time, here's Jake Fromm. The Dogs have come to South Bend, Indiana, and painted the Gold Dome red and black.
Book lofts it into the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Book hits Javon McKinley. A touchdown.
Dog Nation taking over. DeAndre Swift to the house. Touchdown.
Huge play there by Georgia. How about that? Touchdown Irish.
Are you kidding me?
And he's going to be sacked by the Dogs defense.
Gonna take it all the way.
Easily into the end zone for the Irish touchdown.
The stage has been set for Georgia now.
And as my partner said, the stage is set. Dooley Field in Athens, where we'll have a record crowd. And the Home Depot, SEC on CBS, brings us Between the Hedges. The number 7 Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the 3rd-ranked Bulldogs of Georgia. They'll tangle between the hedges. Outside the hedges, 93,246 will pack in here to watch this one. And we welcome you, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler. My partner is Gary Danielson. Gary, they tell me that the 1929 Yale game here was pretty big, but now arguably the biggest non-conference game ever to be played here. You can argue that point, I guess, but at one area we know is it's a playoff atmosphere here.
It really is, and in some ways, Brad, it feels really bigger than a playoff game. You know, when an iconic team comes down, plays in the heart of the SEC, we know what Georgia is, and you know if Georgia wins, the SEC is going to pound the table that we deserve 2 teams, and it might be hard to argue if they run the table. But if Notre Dame wins, and all those people that really never root for Notre Dame, they might be rooting for them because that'll open up one more spot at the end of the year with that committee.
We're going to talk about the quarterbacks in a minute, but let's go back 2 years ago. It was Georgia at Notre Dame. They win by 1. What's the biggest difference between those 2 teams and these 2 teams?
You know, in that game in 2017, we really didn't know what Georgia was going to be. Ultimately, 1 play from the national championship. We know they're elite this year. They're a legitimate contender. But this Notre Dame team is much better. They got more players on the outside, better rushers. They're veterans. They played in big games. Tonight, there is no excuses. They got to stand up and beat an elite team.
I asked Ian Book today, I said, are you guys ready to roll tonight? He said, yes, sir. It's a great opportunity. Right. The opportunity's at hand.
And that's probably the biggest difference in the game in 17 to 19, the quarterback position. In that game, both teams were managing their quarterbacks. Not tonight. Both teams have quarterbacks that can win football games. Ian Book, it can move around in the pocket. He's a threat. Ball handling, RPOs, throwing the ball downfield and scrambling to make points. Georgia must be aware of him on every snap of this football game.
2 years ago, Jake Fromm was making his first start at Notre Dame Stadium. Now he is the undisputed lead dog.
Yeah, in that game, it was like manage him, don't lose it. But we saw how he grew. We saw in that SEC game, he ripped the Alabama team almost and should have won the game. It wasn't his fault, and now he's even better. I've never seen a quarterback that is better prior to the snap and after the snap in college football for as long as I can remember.
The vibe in this city and this stadium has been electric for 2 days. Tonight, the stars will shine on the Georgia night, and they'll shine on Dooley Field as well. The Irish and the Bulldogs coming up. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, Mercedes-Benz, Aflac, and by Chick-fil-A. If this scene doesn't get you ready, nothing will. Here come the third-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. And from South Bend to Athens, the 7th-ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Third member of our team with Kirby Smart, Jamie Erdahl. James.
Coach, the buzz around this game implies that the outcome has a ripple effect on college football nationally. But what matters to your guys is what you told them. What was the final message before you just hit the field?
Controlled emotion. No one play is going to win or lose this game. First quarter is not going to win or lose this game. How you execute throughout the game is going to win the game.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you. Go Dogs.
You saw that 15 straight wins. Georgia hasn't lost a non-conference home game to anyone other than Georgia Tech here since 1996. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame in these situations have not played well against top 10 competition over the last decade. They're hoping to turn that around tonight. Back to Jamie with Brian Kelly.
Coach, you said this week we would see the best of Ian Book tonight. What does that play look like to make sure you steal one in Athens?
I don't know. Probably should have said he's going to need to play his best tonight. So
what kind of play is that, though?
Well, he's got to be consistent in the pocket. You know, he starts getting outside the pocket, you know, he's doing too much. So be consistent in the pocket. We'll give him time. He needs to deliver the ball accurately.
You've been in a lot of great games. Have you seen a scene like this before?
Yeah, we've seen some, but this is really nice. They've done a great job of creating a home atmosphere here, and got to play through it.
Road Warriors, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks, Coach.
Not quite the scene at Notre Dame Stadium 2 years ago when there was a sea of red on their home field. There's not a lot of Notre Dame fans in this building.
Agree, but I don't know if there's another team in college football that's more prepared to play in big game atmospheres than Notre Dame. I mean, they don't want them, but they know what it's like to play in them.
Exactly. You just saw the graphic of something I mentioned earlier with 500 additional seats added to the west end zone. This is the largest crowd to ever watch a football game in this state. 75 degrees. It is perfect. Notre Dame won the toss. They want the football. Only the third meeting ever between these two teams. The aforementioned one 2 seasons back. And then the national championship win by Georgia following the 80 season in the 81 Sugar Bowl. Rodrigo Blankenship's got it teed up. Williams and Keys are back deep for Notre Dame. And as Rodrigo does so many times, a touchback. So they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. Let's take a look at our starting lineups presented by Chick-fil-A. And here's the book on Ian. 8 touchdowns coming off a record-breaking performance for him. 360 yards and 5 touchdowns in the win over New Mexico last week. 11-1 as a starter. That lone loss was to Clemson in the playoff game.
Started out the season a little jittery in the pocket, and that's why Brian Kelly was telling Jamie, I want him to handle the pocket. That's our best chance. We'll take the other stuff after he does the pocket right first.
3 wide-out group of Claypool, Fink, and Keys for Book on first down at the 25. They fake the toss. He comes up throwing and fires complete to Komet, his tight end. And he's got positive yardage and picked up about 7. So we take a look at the rest of the lineup, and lo and behold, who did he highlight?
Yep.
Right there, Komet, back from an injury and in the lineup, and he makes a difference, Gary.
He does, because they can also use Tremble, number 24, as an H-back, able to split him out when they use two tight ends. He's almost a slot. It should keep Georgia's base defense on the field.
That's Komet in motion. Jones behind Book on 2nd down and 3, and it's an end around. Lawrence Keys, and he's got the edge, and he's got the first down and then some. Out across the 40 to the 41-yard line before the Georgia Bulldogs can track him down. Eric Stokes made the tackle.
2 years ago, the longest run from scrimmage against Georgia was 8 yards, and that was by the quarterback. How does Notre Dame run the ball? It'll be like that, non-traditional runs, not line up at I-back and try to block them all. Try to finesse them with their run game early.
Jeff Flanagan is our referee.
The play was over. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 74 on the offense. The play made a first down. After a 15-yard penalty, it'll be first down and 10.
There's Eichenberg right there with a hit.
And not necessary. Remember what Kirby told Jamie. We want to play with controlled emotions. Right there early in the game, Eichenberg's trying to be physical. You know it's been preached all week. Be physical, and does too much early in the game.
So even though they got a first down, it backs them up just outside the 25-yard line again. Eric Stokes, I think the cornerback, is the guy that's down, and they're already low on cornerbacks.
Yeah, Tyson Campbell did not dress for the game. They lose Stokes, it would be 2 out of their 3 best defensive backs could be lost for the game. Well, at least corners. I probably should rephrase that.
And we'll check on him as he is helped to the sideline.
Want more stats? Hey Siri, who leads college football in rushing yards?
No score here early in the first quarter. Let's go back to that last play at Eric Stokes.
Yeah, that happened to Stokes on the tackle. Watching between the legs, the right ankle of Stokes buckles when he makes the hit against Keys right there. I think he just slightly tweaked or turned his ankle.
Tyrick McGee comes into the secondary, and he goes into the tent. And it's first down for Notre Dame after that penalty at their own 26-yard line, and now they just jumped. I think it might have been Aaron Banks or Eichenberg.
Offense number 74. Penalty is 5 yards.
2 mistakes by Eichenberg in the opening minute.
And probably their highest regarded offensive lineman, who's a veteran.
Senior out of Cleveland, Ohio. As you take a look at the Georgia defense, J.R. Reed is the leader of that back end of the Georgia defense, without a doubt. First down at 15 with another Notre Dame penalty. Ian Book across the middle, and again he's got Komet, his tight end, across the 30, and he's still not down. Takes a whole pound of dogs to at least stand him up.
Yeah, I think the forward progress is going to go back to about the 31-yard line, though. But so far in this game, Chip Long has Ian Book getting that ball out of his hands quickly, using his tight ends, and trying to avoid that early pass rush with the quick passes.
That one picked him up 10 yards, so it's 2nd down and 5 at the 31. Book with a play fake, throws off his back foot. Komet has got 3 catches already. He's got a first down, and he's all the way out to the 46-yard line. So we knew he was going to be a great addition. We didn't know it was going to be this big this early as Stokes heads to the Georgia locker room.
Brad, I was listening to the Notre Dame football game and listening to Doug Flutie call one of the games last year, and he said, you know, they always get on a quarterback for throwing off his back foot. Sometimes you got to do it. And that time he did it well.
This time he steps into the throw and goes deep. Incomplete, intended for Chase Claypool. DJ Daniel was back there and had good coverage. Claypool is his leading receiver with 9 catches for close to 200 yards coming into this game through 2 weeks. He comes out. And again, the jet sweep to Keys going right this time. And this time Georgia plays the edge well, and DJ Daniels runs him out of bounds. A loss of 1.
Yeah, and that time that Georgia defense, Tay Crowder, number 30, they just all ran it down. Going sideways, that's why you recruit these guys. Keep pushing it wide, and then your corner makes the tackle.
That brings up a 3rd and 11. And Notre Dame's not been good on 3rd down this year, 27%. They only converted 1 3rd down a week ago.
The speed rushers for Georgia have to make their impact. Guys like Nolan Smith, number 4. Can he make an impact?
They're trying to get some heat on Book. Scrambles left and throws that way incomplete. It'll be a punting situation that was intended for Lawrence Keys. Jay Bramblett will come in to punt for the Irish. As you look behind him, and on the other end, Tyler Simmons awaits at the 15 for Georgia. Simmons waits on it late, fair catch.
Oh, he almost ran into his own guy like the Iowa State game.
It was really close.
Yes. When I handed the win to Iowa, very lucky to get away with it.
Georgia's going to be inside its own 10 on offense when we come back. Speaking of Georgians, how about our man, Jason Aldean?
Train on the track, thought we were gone, but you're wrong, that was on.
DeAndre Swift to the house, touchdown Notre Dame!
We were gone, but you're wrong, that was on. This is the Home Depot SEC on CBS. The best game from the best conference.
America's favorite kid genius, Sheldon Cooper, is back. Catch the season premiere of Young Sheldon at its new time Thursday at 8, 7 Central here on CBS. Sheldon's probably been watching this game. Georgia's got to work inside its own 10-yard line on its opening possession. And Jake Fromm in an empty backfield, and now DeAndre Swift comes to join him. Fromm comes up throwing. Complete out around the 14-yard line to Demetrius Robertson as we take a look at our starting lineups presented by Chick-fil-A, and it all starts with number 11. Jake, the junior, out of Warner Robins, 26-5 as a starter in a Dogs uniform. First career start was Notre Dame 2 years ago. He said, I didn't feel like it was that big a deal. I was more nervous when we came home the following week to play Samford. I said, Samford?
You ever seen anybody looser in a Friday meeting than Jake Fromm?
He's fun to be around. Second down and 4. Throws left into some traffic to Robertson again. So Demetrius Robertson back-to-back receptions. Here's how the rest of the Dogs look. And of course, DeAndre Swift, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago, and probably headed in that direction again this season.
So, new offensive coordinator James Coley decides, Notre Dame's been hearing about that power offensive line all week, so I'm going to come out and space him out with some short throws. Soften him up wide before he tries to pound on him inside.
That's James Cook in motion. The give is to Swift. Tripped a little bit. He hit the line of scrimmage. We take a look at the Irish defense. Leading tackler coming in. Asmar Bilal. They really need the guys to set the corners, Agora and those guys on the edge, because if Swift gets outside you, goodbye.
Yeah, tackling in the secondary. In the secondary, the safeties for Notre Dame can't miss. They don't have to be physical, just drag the guy down.
Cook's in a slot with the tight end Warner, and again, he'll be on the move on second down and 7. Blitz coming. Fromm throws it to Swift, one-on-one, and good tackling like Gary just said, and an excellent job there by Drew White. Let's check in with Jamie.
Well, I know it looked like an ankle at first when Eric Stokes went into the medical tent. It's actually his right knee, but if there's any optimism there for Georgia, he did jog into the locker room, but he's still in there at the moment, guys.
All right, Jamie, thanks.
But technically, the knee is attached to the ankle, so partially right.
The leg bone's connected to the whatever.
Exactly.
Third down and 9. Georgia's been pretty good on third down through their first 3 weeks.
They have elite pass rushers. Can they put some pressure on Fromm?
They've got 6 guys up there close, and they're bringing an extra one, and it's a screen to Swift, but it's a great open field stop again.
And Jack Lamb, number 31 that time, is their middle linebacker in their dime package. The scouting report going into this game was number 31 has to draw the blocks, get back in there, and tackle the check down. If you talk to Clark Lee, the defensive coordinator, he says if Lamb tackles the check downs, we'll be okay.
Chris Fink waits on Jake Kamara's punt. Whistle on the penalty marker down.
I think 2 men in motion that time.
False start. Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Warren McClendon, the freshman, is flagged for the false start. So instead of 4th and 13, it's 4th and 18. And they're getting dangerously close to their own goal line.
Somebody needs to tell Kirby to do the controlled emotion in the first quarter. Who tells the guy that tells you, right?
Scott Sinclair, their strength coach, is usually the guy that grabs him by the belt.
He looked like a little emotional to me right there.
They got some heat on the punter, but he got it away.
It affected the punt. And it's going to go up. That went out about the 40-yard line.
It's going to be great field position for Notre Dame. They're still walking it up to see where they're going to spot it. I think Gary's right on it, I think. At any rate,
40.
Bad punt. Great field position for Notre Dame. So far, they're off to a good start defensively. And their offense back on the field when we come back.
Adam Zucker in New York with this Papa John's update. Biggest upset of the day so far, Pitt. They call this the Pitt special. Looks like the Philly special, but after seeing UCF score 31 straight, Pitt with that play, and they give UCF their first loss. And number 21, Virginia, saw Old Dominion come to town and score the first 17, but they are on the board, down 10, heading toward halftime. Ness, Gary, back to you.
Zuck, thanks. Big win for Coach Narduzzi, huh?
Yeah, I would say so, you know, and especially coming off the decision he made a week ago when he received so much criticism.
That was only a 25-yard punt here.
Yeah, we looked as close as we could. No one touched this football, and I just feel that he felt the pressure up front and just kind of missed it.
And that miss sets Notre Dame's offense up at the 40-yard line. Eric Stokes is back out of the locker room. Appeared to be running okay on the sideline. Keep it on the ground. Tony Jones about a yard. That's it. Coming into the game, Jones and Ian Book were both at 127 yards through 2 weeks as far as their leading rushers.
Yeah, I think if you would ask me what's the biggest difference between the two teams, groups against groups, the Georgia running back group kind of is so powerful and game-breaking, and the Notre Dame group does not have that guy yet kind of to emerge.
And Georgia has been stingy, allowing only 61 yards a game on the ground. Another false start.
False start.
Noise is getting to him.
Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
I was on the field before the game, and I said, Brian, your team is better than it was 2 years ago. What'd you tell him? And he said, I said exactly that. We're better at receiver. We're a veteran team. You guys want to be elite? Go out and beat an elite team, and you'll be elite.
Midway through the first quarter, neither team has drawn blood yet. Empty backfield. At 2nd and 14. Book. Pressure coming over the middle. High this time. Incomplete. That was intended for Claypool.
You know, and Ian Book in the first games has started off rather slowly. 2 for 5 in the first game for 21 yards, and then 5 for 10 for 48, but he threw for 360 in the total game. So both games, he got off to slow starts. Against this Georgia elite football team, you can't waste a series.
3rd and 14. Here comes the blitz. Book across the middle. Nice throw. Tony Jones is going to be short of the first down, but they got it all the way to the 31, and this might be a decision for Brian Kelly.
Well-designed play this time. Saw the blitz coming, gets the matchup on the running back that he wants. Watch Book, buy time, goes to the inside, and should have creased it. I mean, you got to kick those heels.
They're going on fourth. You saw that graphic about their fourth down conversions a week ago. This is fourth down at 2 in a big situation here early in the game.
Kelly's calling timeout.
Gonna think about it. His quarterback will go over and have a chat with him.
Remember, Brian Kelly's not as young as he was, and he sprinted over here to get that timeout. Now,
6:53 remaining first quarter. We'll see what Notre Dame does when we come back. Stream CBS Sports HQ, the free 24/7 news coverage network that always is focused on the game. Get nonstop highlights, fantasy advice, and picks. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. And don't forget, you can join Gary with the HQ team in our post-game show. You were HQing earlier today.
Yeah, it's fun. Terrell Davis was over there. Listen, I think they got to go for this. On the road, the elite football team. Here's the value now of Ian Book. Georgia has to defend the quarterback on this play.
It's fourth down at 2. They're 5 of 6. Their fourth down conversion so far this year.
Notre Dame has struggled on short yardage situations, but they've been on third down. Maybe fourth down is more lucky for them.
And the ball goes through the hands of Book, and he's in a heap of trouble. Comes up firing and almost completes it to Lawrence Keys, and Georgia will take over on downs.
Remember, the newest player on this team is Jarrett Patterson, the only new starter in the offensive line, and I think he snapped it before he should have. Georgia shifts, and he snaps the ball. I think the Georgia, some type of vocal call, got Jarrett Patterson to snap it before Book wasn't ready. It's very fortunate that the ball did not hit the motion player going by. So you go for it, you take a timeout. You know, I've already said that Notre Dame should not be in awe playing on the road, but they've made all the big mistakes here. So
they have. So that gives the ball to Georgia at the 32-yard line. From under center. And they gave DeAndre Swift trying to weed his way for about 4. Maybe only 3. Dalen Hayes made the stop defensively. So Georgia hasn't gotten untracked on offense so far. They come in averaging 565 yards a game in offense, but you have to consider the competition of who they played.
Just remember, Georgia is looking for the play action deep bomb on every play. If you're playing safety for Notre Dame, play safety. Stay back.
They give the ball to Brian Harrion. And Harrion, part of that stable of backs, gets about 3 more, but it's going to bring up a third down. Georgia, one of the best teams in the country offensively on the ground, and as you see on the right-hand side, Notre Dame 120th out of 130. So far, so good. They've done a nice job of slowing down the Georgia attack. Third down and 4 here.
And remember, a lot of that was that opening Appalachia State game when they were not ready for that option game from Appalachia State. Excuse me, against Louisville, my fault, against Louisville. Kind of caught them off guard. Took a couple, 3 series to really find their feet.
Dominic Blaylock, the freshman, was in motion. Pressure coming on Fromm again. Throws, and he completes it to Thomas Simmons. And it's a first down for the Dogs at the 47-yard line.
Jake Fromm could feel pressure to his left, but he knew he had a one-on-one matchup. Stepped up, delivered it, even though he had another guy coming right in his face. Gilman, number 11 that time, still delivered another strike.
So at the 5-minute mark of the quarter, Georgia with a first down out at the 47.
Yeah, you know, there are like stats about Fromm that, you know, he needs to throw less than 30 passes to win. But boy, I've seen him at his best, and he's 5 for 5. He's now legitimately, you can play him any way you want. He's a winning quarterback no matter what you do.
Thomas Simmons on the end around. And Simmons, positive yardage, has got almost 10 more. George Pickens, a freshman wide receiver, got a good block out there for his teammate.
So one of the changes and challenges for this Georgia football team, so close, back-to-back years to going into the national championship, they lost both coordinators, Jim Chaney on offense and Mel Tucker on defense. James Coley, he was here as a quarterback coach a year ago, has taken over the play calling, and you can still see his footprints on this game. There he is, his fingerprints right there is saying, spread them out, spread them out, spread them out. We'll hit them hard later.
They can do just about anything they want on this down. Second down and 1, and it's a play action in front. Might want it all. He's going to check down and go to Swift, and Swift run out of bounds, a loss of a yard. Nice job defensively.
Got a flag in the backfield as well.
Holding, offense number 66, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Solomon Kinley, the left guard, the guilty party. Georgia's offensive line is massive. Average about 325 pounds a man.
Calling the holding penalty against Georgia. Line of scrimmage. Back in the Georgia 46.
I'm afraid to circle because I don't know if I can make circles that big. I'm afraid of going right outside the border here.
The hold was against Myron Tagovailoa Amosa, the defensive tackle. And there's what I was talking about, 329 and 6'5".
Notre Dame must move, stunt, use their quickness to their advantage against this big line.
Here's the quick throw out in the flats. And again, good open field tackling. Matt Landers lost yardage that time on the catch.
And that's exactly the tackling you have to have. Jeremiah Wusu-Koromora that time made that tackle in space. You can't let a 1-yard play become a 20-yard play. Make the tackles, make them earn their yards. We always talk about yards after contact for a running back, but now in modern college football, yards after contact for a wide receiver may be a bigger stat.
We haven't seen an explosive play yet from either team. Third down at 12. Jake Fromm, 4-man rush. Pressured, robs one. Lucky that wasn't intercepted. He was hit as he threw by Julian Okwara.
I don't know if he lobbed it or the ball squirted out of his hand because of the hit from Okwara. Steps to 3. Yeah, he got hit as he let the ball go and he just kind of squirted. He's very fortunate to get away with that one.
His first incompletion, and there you see the heat and the first time Jake's hit the deck.
And as Brad pointed out last year, a lot of you might not have seen it. Jake always flips the ball before he throws it, and he flipped it a little too late that time.
A little late on the flip. Camarda had a horrible first punt. Let's see how he does the second time around. End over end, this one's better. And fair catch taken around the 14-yard line. So the Irish have it back on offense. We give you a reminder that tomorrow it's an NFL doubleheader highlighted by Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and their home opener against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Followed by the Saints. They'll head into Seattle to take on the Seahawks. It all begins at noon Eastern. JB and the gang huddling up on the NFL Today, presented by Jeep. Check in with Jamie.
Well, Ian Book checked in with the offensive line during that last series off, and they actually decided it looks like they're going to go a clap cadence only from offensive line coach Jeff Quinn to make that decision.
It's pretty noisy in here. Right now, Ian's under center. The straight give to Jones right up the middle. And he's out to the 19, maybe the 20. Quay Walker was the first guy to meet him defensively.
Listen, we all know the type of 1 through 85 talent that Kirby Smart has recruited here at Georgia. They're legitimate, with anybody. Clemson, Alabama, they've got just as good a talent as anyone in the country. But I know Notre Dame is happy to look over across that and see no Roquan Smith playing middle linebacker for Georgia.
He could erase a lot of mistakes.
Jeez, he did.
Second down at 5. Georgia's going to bring an extra man. Book throws it out in the flat, complete to Jones. Nice wheel and turn and first down. Richard LeCount knocked him off his pins, but Tony put his foot in the ground. Little spin move to get the extra yardage needed to move the sticks.
I had to chuckle. Clark Lee, Chip Long, the offensive coordinator for Notre Dame, when McKinley broke all those tackles last week for a touchdown, he said, I've been waiting for 3 years for a receiver. And right there, when Jones makes a guy miss and makes a first down, that's what you got to do.
They give it to Jones on the sweep to the left side, going for 3 or 4 before he's run out of bounds. Jamie was talking about they've had some issues here early in the game with a false start there on the left tackle, probably because of the noise and then the bad snap. Could have been the same reason. And thus, the clap and silent counts from Ian Book.
I think there's only been one targeted ball to a wide receiver. All the rest have gone to tight ends and running backs for Ian Book so far.
That tight end is Tommy Tremble in motion. Play action. Screen goes to Davis, and what a play it was by Tay Crowder. Avery Davis, kind of a multi-position player. They tried to get him out in some space, and Tay Crowder said, not on that play.
It's one thing to recognize the play. It's another thing to run it down. Before the Notre Dame offensive lineman can turn around and look for Crowder, he had split him and made the tackle. No chance for a pickup.
3rd down and 9. Now it's going to get loud in here again. Four-man rush. Book backpedals, throws in the flat. Claypool's got a first down out to the 40-yard line. So there's his big 6'4", 230-pound wide receiver.
I can't imagine that this is not a bust. 3rd and long. Claypool actually runs behind the line of scrimmage against a zone defense and picks up an easy 12 yards.
That brings us to the end of the first quarter. Neither team has been able to score. Number 7 and number 3 in Athens. Second quarter coming up in a moment. Back at Dooley Field, Sanford Stadium in Athens. Home Depot SEC on CBS. No score through the first quarter. We start the second quarter with Notre Dame at the 42-yard line with a first down. And Tony Jones looking for somewhere to hide and actually loses a yard on the carry. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie's down on the field. Notre Dame came in a big underdog. They've had some penalty issues through the first 15 minutes. What's the best thing they've done so far?
I'd say make tackles. They haven't missed anything. You know, Fromm is completing passes, but nothing big so far. As long as they tackle in space, they have a good chance.
They did that time. That was kind of tackle in a phone booth for Tony Jones, who lost a yard. It's 2nd down and 11. Ian Book throws out on the flat. It's Komet, and Komet dropped it, but got on top of it. So his 4th catch already here in the first half.
Well, Komet has made a big difference in this game plan. He's big enough and strong enough to help blocking on the end of the line of scrimmage, and he's catching those short passes. You can see how comfortable Ian Book is having number 84 back in the football game.
He's an NFL caliber tight end, 6'5", 250, and he's made a big difference in this game as Ian Book's 8 out of 12 for 70. Has another 3rd down situation here. That's Fink in motion. And now we got motion as well, and it's Komet who had an early takeoff, it looked like.
False start. Offense, number 69 and number 84. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Right now, I think Notre Dame Nation and Brian Kelly is going, boy, I wish we'd have had this home field advantage when we had them at our place.
Exactly.
Because that night, about 50% of that stadium was Georgia red. And here it's not 50%, it's almost 95% Georgia red here.
Making themselves known again for the Georgia defense on 3rd and 11. And a timeout taken by Notre Dame.
Home field advantage, no doubt about it.
13-18 remaining first half. Notre Dame uses its second timeout. Last season's hit comedy is back. Cedric the Entertainer and Max Greenfield star in an all-new season of The Neighborhood. Miss Nancy and I watch that every Monday at 8, 7 Central on CBS. Here's what Gary was talking about, speaking of neighborhood. Georgia thought they were in their own neighborhood at Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend 2 years ago as they gobbled up tickets. That was the scene there in 2017 in a 20-19 Georgia win. And now here in 2019, that's the scene in Athens. So much for Southern hospitality.
Exactly. These people down here don't sell their tickets, do they?
After the Notre Dame timeout, 3rd down and 11.
Remember, Notre Dame has been throwing short passes on 3rd and long, and they've been successful with it.
That's Trimble, the tight end who is in motion. Ian Book throws, complete. Avery Davis, and he is all wrapped up by Devon Wilson.
I don't know if we have a stat yet for this in college football, but soon there should be. In the secondary, when the ball is given to the wings, all of the offenses now are trying to get their athletes the ball in space. And that means the athletes on defense better learn how to tackle and wrap up. And they don't have to knock out guys. They got to just drag them down.
Tyler Simmons averaging over 19 yards a punt return coming into this game. Had a fair catch earlier from Jay Bramlett, a freshman out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So he knows all about the SEC. That's a good kick. Simmons has to call fair catch again and dropped it. Notre Dame's on top of it. Chase Claypool comes up with a football. A huge mistake by Simmons.
Fumble recovery by number 83.
How about the hustle by your starting receiver, Claypool? Gets down there on special teams and is there to make the easy recovery. A gift. Calls a fair catch and then doesn't catch it.
Covered the fumble at the 8-yard line.
Now, how does Notre Dame take advantage of it? Can the Georgia defense hold Notre Dame to a field goal? Try the biggest first part of the football game when you've had a strategic play that their offensive and defensive coordinators got to come up big with a play.
That little group we talked about, happy down there in that corner. That's right where their offense sets up on the right hash of the 8. Little toss to Fink. Fink's got blockers in front. Hit at the 6 and goes down.
Again, this goes in the books as a pass, but this is Notre Dame's run game. They really are putting this and counting this as how to run the ball against Georgia. All right, Ian Book has not rushed the ball in this game yet.
This is where he can be so dangerous. Georgia hasn't allowed a red zone touchdown yet. But they just gave Notre Dame's offense a gift at the 8, and now they're just outside the Georgia 5. Second down and goal. Book, the fade to the corner to Claypool. Did he catch it? Flags are down. He's out of bounds.
This pass is incomplete. There's a flag on the play.
DJ Daniel was the guy that was covering.
Pass interference, defense number 14. Foul was in the end zone by rule. The ball be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
Slot receiver fade. Everybody's got this play. Everybody's got a 6'3" receiver. Very physical Chase Claypool, and you can see Daniel is riding him, has his hands on him the whole way. Had to be called.
Georgia short on defensive backs due to injuries. And that time, the corner with the pass interference, they're coming right back to Claypool. Incomplete this time.
Boy, you can see the respect Chip Long has for this rush defense for Georgia. First down. Come on, all of us that grew up watching Notre Dame football, we're saying, all right, let's see the Irish pound this thing in, right? I mean, how different would they go back to the same type of a play?
I just keep thinking, when's the quarterback draw coming?
Yeah. Or as you're calling plays for Chip Long, do you think it 4-down territory as you call these plays?
Book is under center. The toss, the roll, the throw, the wide open toss for the touchdown.
Kirby called timeout prior to the play. And he saved a touchdown. Notre Dame was an unbalanced line, and he got a timeout to save a touchdown.
First charge timeout.
He knew his defense was fooled. Unbalanced line, only 2 guys are going to run the end man on a touchdown, but Kirby sprints down there, uses his defensive back plays, gets into the end zone. A nice design play to slip into the backfield. Look at. He said, we don't have it right. We don't have it right.
He didn't move that fast when he played here. Beautiful shot of a record crowd. Our aerial coverage is sponsored by State Farm. Over 93,000 on hand in Athens.
If I was Brian Kelly, I would go to my offensive coordinator, Chip Long, and I'd tell my whole team, we're going for it. If we don't lose yardage, we're going for it on all 4 downs. We got a gift here. What's the big deal? If we would have caught it, he'd been at the 9. If we get it and we don't make it, they get the ball at the 2. We're going for a touchdown.
Ian Book in the shotgun all by himself. Davis in motion. They fake it to him. There's the quarterback run. He's close.
Book keeps, and it's not short of the goal line.
Just shy of the Georgia goal line.
I think Monty Rice did a good job getting that hit on the edge. Book goes inside, but Monty Rice delivers the hit and does not let Ian get far enough near the goal line. So now it's 3.5 yards. Watch for the quarterback sneak here. Brock Wright comes in and does the push to the quarterback when he's in the game. They do not have him in there.
3rd down and goal. About a foot away. The quick screen, and it's broken up by Georgia. They tried to get it to Claypool on a little slip screen, and J.R. Reed knocked it down.
And Notre Dame is very fortunate this was not called a lateral. This was close. Tries a quick screen. That's very close to being a backward pass. Woo! Called incomplete on the field. I don't see enough to overturn it. Here's the quarterback sneak look. We're going to get the push from behind by the tight end.
That's Takis. 4th and goal. Now they shift out of it. Book fakes the throw, in trouble. To the back of the end zone. Caught by Clement for the touchdown.
It didn't work as it was drawn up, but it worked.
I'm not even sure Komet was the intended receiver.
I don't think so either. I agree with you. I think he was throwing it to the back of the end zone on the play. Wants to throw it wide, nobody there. I think he's throwing it right here to the back.
He was trying to get it to Tony Jones.
And intercepted on the play.
Cole Komet says, I'll take that.
Intercepted by your own guy for a touchdown. Well, Brian Kelly was thinking like I was, go for it, go for it. But you can see the respect he has. I'm not running inside against these guys, throwing almost every down.
Jonathan Dorr, the snap was low, but the kick is perfect. And with 10:39 to go in the first half, Notre Dame strikes first. We told you Cole Komet would be a big part of this game. He's got 5 catches, including a touchdown. Short drive, and number 7 is up 7 in Athens. 7-0 Notre Dame on a touchdown pass from Ian Book to Cole Komet. And we have another look.
Well, during the first, I tried to figure out what the play was. After they shift out of this, they give the look like the quarterback sneak in previous games. And I think what's trying to happen, I think Komet was trying to pick for Tony Jones to come around the outside. When it wasn't there, Jones goes deep. He tries to get him the ball, and Komet intercepts it. That's all I could think from.
That's what it sure looked like when we first saw it, and indeed that's what it was. James Cook and Brian Herrion wait on the other end of this kick. And Cook's just going to have to field it and back and take a knee, and we'll bring it out to the 25 for Georgia. Let's test your knowledge with tonight's Aflac trivia question. What do we got? When was the last time Notre Dame defeated an Associated Press top 10 team on the road? We told you they've had some struggles in that area. Right now they're leading the number 3 team in the country by a touchdown. So we'll let you chew on that one for a while. Remember, the fumbled punt is what led to a 8-yard drive in 5 plays. Been a while since Georgia's even behind at home. Now let's see if their offense can get something working. So far, not really. It's DeAndre Swift, but only a couple.
DeAndre Swift on the carry, picks up a yard.
34 total yards coming into this series. 2 first downs, been bottled up. They've tried to loosen up this Notre Dame defense. It's a veteran defense, veteran at safety. It's off the edge. If you look inside, Drew White, number 40, who struggled earlier against Louisville in that game, has gotten better every series he's played for Notre Dame. Looks like a legit defense now. They've got it all together.
James Cook in motion. They'll try Swift again. And Swift trying to pop out the backside, and he did. And he got a first down. There's the best run so far for Georgia.
Well, Loie Gilman, number 11 that time, was right there, but he tried to tackle the ball. He tries to get it and rip it, and Swift spins and keeps going forward for a positive play. Probably the first real missed tackle of the game, don't you think, for Notre Dame?
They've been pretty strong in that area. Jake Fromm is 6 out of 7, but for only 16 yards so far in the game. Eli Wolf in that tight end for Georgia. Brian Herrion gets the carry up the middle, and Herrion got almost 5. He doesn't really get enough credit. He's kind of the unheralded guy in that Georgia backfield. Everybody's high on Zamir White, the redshirt freshman, who's a huge recruit. James Cook, who's got lightning fast speed. And then you kind of forget about number 35. He is solid. Second down and 5. Herrion stays in there to flank Jake Fromm. Of a yard. Drew White, the inside linebacker, number 40.
You watch him. First game, it looked like the whole Irish nation was going, oh, we miss Tranquil so much, and he was a great player for so long for Notre Dame. But Drew White just keeps getting better and better. Every series, you can see it on tape. Every series, he looks better than the series before when he plays. This is a more comfortable game for him too, though.
Yep.
It's not the option, speed stuff. More coming downhill at him.
Georgia with a bunch receiver group to the left, and now that's Robertson who's going to join the backfield and come back out of it. Fromm scans the field, throws complete, caught. Eli Wolf, who we just mentioned earlier, transferred over from Tennessee, and he's already got more catches as a Bulldog than he had all of last season with the Volunteers.
I think it was Jack Lamb, number 31, was bluffing the blitz, and he turns around and tries to find the crossing receiver just a half step late. See it right there? He turns a half step, and Wolf gets by him. The transfer from Tennessee gets it and picks up the first down.
And that was a pinpoint pass by Fromm to get it in there to him. First down at the 47. 2 tight ends set now with Charlie Werner and Wolf in there. Swift trying to get to the edge. DeAndre Swift. There's one of his patented runs. Pick up a 12 and a first down.
Well, Eli Wolf caught a pass on 3rd down. This time they asked him to block. And he gets out front in space and makes the block, pushes him by. That's all you need. Good running back, just get in front of somebody, and you're going to make positive yards on the play.
So Georgia's offense moved it to the Notre Dame 42-yard line with another first down with 7 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Lawrence Cager, another transfer from Miami. He's up to the top of your screen. Simmons to the right on first down. Play action. Fromm's going to flip it out there to Charlie Warner. Dropped the ball, scooped it back up, and picked up a yard maybe.
You really have to be impressed. I mean, Fromm he's almost a magician with the ball, but the Notre Dame defense is on the throw. He's completing them, and they're there. They're in the picture. And that's really the key here when you're playing against elite athletes. Do not give them space when they catch the ball.
This is the best tackling I've seen so far this year from anybody.
No doubt about it. But it seems like Georgia's kind of found their rhythm here. Enough power. They've got to kind of go in both directions now. A little bit of everything.
Dominic Blaylock out in the flat with a reception. Got around to the edge. He's got a first down. They really like this kid. Freshman out of Marietta, Georgia.
How does he get it out? A little wiggle inside, then he backs up for the old bubble screen, basically. Gives it to him and gets around the corner.
Dominic caught 4 passes for 112 yards a week ago, including a touchdown.
Yeah, Jalen Elliott, number 21, has to make that play. You're not going to make them all. But when you look at the tape the next day, it's those little plays like that. Another foot outside on his angle. Could have stopped it. He misjudged it. When you get D-Rob like that kind of stuff, he's going to get around it.
Flags, and it might be a false start this time on Georgia. At least that's
false
what.
Start. 77 offense.
The
5-yard
Irish
penalty.
saying, and it was Cade Mays
down.
who flinched. Those kind of penalties just kill your rhythm. You're going along pretty good, and all of a sudden it's first down at 15.
Yeah, and it has been a good rhythm. You know, you get an 8-play drive here. Everything is on target. No mistakes. Once those big bodies go one direction, they're not going the other.
Yeah, Cade's 320. Once it's going in reverse, it's staying in reverse. So back to the 29. Harrion with Fromm with a shotgun. The throw's going back out to Blaylock again. Let's see if he can beat his first man. Nope. Nice job back there defensively by Crawford to make the tackle. And we got a Georgia Bulldog down on the field around the 27-yard line.
Got to do it. You know, it's been preached all week. Make the tackle when you have a chance. John Crawford. 3 surgeries, missed 3 different years, still playing football and makes the big tackle. And there you see Big Kinley down, number 66.
We'll check on Solomon McKinley, when we come back.
Adam Zucker in New York coming up on the Geico Halftime Report. Houston, BJ and I will get you caught up on today's action, including Clemson all over the 49ers. The Charlotte 49ers, 66-yard pick six by Kayvon Wallace. Tigers on an 18-game winning streak. Now back to Ness, Gary, and Jamie.
Thanks, Adam. Clemson can probably play with the San Francisco 49ers. Just under 5 minutes to play here as we saw Solomon Kinley, and they're helping him to the sideline as we took a look, and he got rolled up on by Kurt Heinisch, I think, is the guy that got him, Gary.
Yeah, and I think 57, Adamiola, also from the other side, kind of braces him one way, and there's no give on the play, and gets bent backwards. Not to mention big Andrew Thomas falling on the back of him as well as the left tackle.
So now their offensive line, that's their strong suit, banged up because of Isaiah Wilson, also hurt.
Yes.
Swift. Maybe to the 23.
So now they got that 3rd and long. They're going to get that nickel package or dime package actually from Notre Dame. They've been keeping their safeties back. If you're Kirby, do you think 2 downs for a first down, or do you think a field goal? They have not gone deep so far in this game, but Notre Dame's alignment has not allowed it. I look for a dig route, something across the middle.
Charlie Warner, the tight end, is in a slot on the right. That's Demetrius Robertson, who's in motion. 3rd down and 9. Fromm looking left the whole way. Back shoulder throw. Got it complete. And it's Lawrence Cager. First down.
Went man-to-man to the outside. Their best cover guy is Tony Pride, number 5. Cager to the outside. Got your best guy on him. They make a better throw than nothing you could do. when you're playing bump and run to the outside, you're trying to clog everybody else. That throw's better than your defense. Fromm now 11 for 12 in the football game. How about that?
And he's got it inside the Notre Dame 10 at the 9-yard line. First and goal. Fromm keeps it himself. Inside the 5, he fumbled the ball into the end zone, but I think he was blown dead at the 3. He doesn't run a lot.
Well, I'll tell you, when Alohi Gilman comes from the secondary, he brings a load with him. One of the things, he lays it on Fromm's right shoulder, too, on the hit. Definitely down. His left elbow is down. And when you're a running quarterback, you get hit in that right arm. That's always scary.
Late stages of the second quarter. Here's how they've mixed it up this drive.
Yeah, been in control. One penalty, illegal procedure penalty, was the only negative play.
DeAndre Swift to the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia. Something for the record crowd to cheer.
That's what Kirby says. Finally, we've settled down and played our football, keeping everybody off balance. I'll tell you, Andre Thomas, number 71, the All-American left tackle for Georgia. What a play. We could get another look at the big guy. Now, from this angle, you won't be able to see it. Let's see for sure if he gets into the end zone. I think when his knee touches the ball's across the line.
I do too. Like it broke the plane before the knee hit the turf.
Yeah, remember, the line is the end zone. If it goes down, the front of the line is as good as the back of the line. Watch big Andrew Thomas right here playing elite. I mean, 350 pounds, 6'7", moves like a cat, gets into the linebacker, puts him in. No way the middle linebacker can make that play.
Let's check in with Gene Steratore, our rules official. Gene?
I've got a touchdown on the play, guys. When that right knee makes contact, the ball has broken the plane of the goal line.
Field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Confirmed it is. Touchdown, Georgia. DeAndre Swift's third rushing touchdown of this early season.
And in that drive, Georgia showed why everybody believes that they're elite. They can do it with power, finesse, the deep ball, the back shoulder. They got a quarterback that's elite. They got all of the pieces.
Rodrigo Blankenship's 174th straight extra point is good. 2:27 remaining in the half. An 80, make it a 75-yard drive in 13 plays. DeAndre Swift, James Coley says that's how we drew it up. 7-7. Thursday on CBS, a new comedy about love, life, and friendship. Don't miss The Unicorn. Premieres Thursday after Young Sheldon on CBS.
Remember in the Clemson game in the playoffs, Notre Dame was into the game until 1:50 to go in the second quarter. It was a 7-point game. Right now, Notre Dame needs to be careful. They only have one timeout left. Georgia gets the ball to start the second half. You do not want to give Georgia the ball again in this half.
So they'll bring it out to the 25 for the Fighting Irish, and that will give us a chance right here to answer our Aflac trivia question. The last time Notre Dame defeated a top 10 team on the road, 7 years ago at Oklahoma. A big win in Norman over Bob Stoops' crew. And here they've given number 3 Georgia all they can handle and then some. Tie game, 2:27 left in a half.
They got to get out of the half, and they have to look like they're attacking because Kirby, if they don't gain yards, will use his timeouts.
Has 2 remaining. Ian Book throws across the middle, in and out of the hands of Fink. It might be almost intercepted. It's still loose. I'm not sure the ball ever touched the ground.
No, so far.
Tay Crowder supplied the hit, and then it seemed like the ball was still above the surface. Let's see.
Rolling on the field is a catch. Second down.
Wow.
What a catch. Off the back shoulder as he gets hit. Might be the play of the game so far for a receiver at least. What a play.
Book, deep middle, got his man, and it's Kmet, the tight end again, all the way down to the 45-yard line.
Well, Irish fans are going, when we have a tight end, we are a threat. Goes right down the middle, and Book makes a perfect throw. Can't throw it any better than that.
He actually backpedaled his way to the 42, a 28-yard pickup. Book, pressure from the corner, throws to Met again, and he's got another one. He's caught 7 passes already.
Yeah, this is the part of the game, talking about the 217 game, that Notre Dame didn't feature in that game. They did not have the passing attack that they have tonight. Ian Book talked about being elite. His offensive coordinator said, go prove you're elite. So far, he's shown he can match anybody.
2nd and 8, set to throw again and going deep. And it's caught inside the 15, and it's Lawrence Keys. Great drive being executed by Ian Book and his receivers right now.
Well, Georgia got a one-on-one back shoulder throw. Here's a 50-50 ball to the outside. Throw it up. Go get it. You know, we should stop calling them 50-50 because it's probably about 75-25 advantage of the receiver on those balls.
2 28-yard pass plays in this drive to the Georgia 12. And now they'll back it up.
That's the 3rd mistake by your veteran left tackle, Eichenberg.
4th false start penalty, if that's what we're going to get here. By the way, our officiating crews from the ACC tonight. Jeff Flanagan, our referee.
False start on the offense. This play qualifies for a 10-second runoff.
The only way Notre Dame could get the 10 seconds back is to burn a timeout, and they do not want to do that.
Could have been Kmet, could have been Eichenberg. Both guys on that left side look like they got a head start. I wouldn't blame Kmet the way he's catching the ball.
Yeah,
I'd want to get out there, too.
Down there, right? Tell you, Ian Book, the more you watch him, his feet are so nimble. Reminds me of an old Irish quarterback we played a long time ago, threw just like him, with those quick feet.
That would be
Joe Theismann. Remember how he played? Had
Absolutely.
the same style. Great athlete in the pocket, able to move his feet and throw. A little bit of a run attack and pass attack at the same time.
with the runoff. There's 40 seconds left unless something changes here.
Notre Dame has to be ready to snap the ball when it's put in play. They don't want to waste any more time.
For 10-second runoff. Notre Dame will not call a timeout, so the 10-second runoff will apply. Second down. First down. All
right, well, that's exactly what Gary said a minute ago.
First and 15 from the 17.
So first down at 15 at the 17.
Winding the clock. There it goes.
There goes Kmet in motion. Book looks right, goes to a screen. He's got blockers out in front for Fink. And Fink's down inside the 10.
Do you get up and snap the ball, or do you call timeout? Make up your mind, Notre Dame.
18, 17,
Looks
clock
like they're going to go up the line of scrimmage.
Down to 13.
Now they're calling timeout.
Wow. They left some seconds out there, didn't they?
They didn't want to waste it down, but they wasted so much time they almost gave up a down. Now you got to throw to the end zone.
They put 1 second back on, so it's 13 with second down and 7.
I think it'd be a real gamble now, Brad, unless you get a first down, to throw the ball inside the field, whether you could get another play off.
Big 13 seconds coming up when we return. Second down at 7 at the 9 with 13 seconds left for Notre Dame. Ian Book throws out of the end zone. It'll be third down.
And you got to just send the field goal unit in right now.
Don't forget, coming up in a few seconds, Adam Zucker, Brian Jones, Houston Nutt. First half analysis, scores, and highlights from around the country. The Geico halftime report. Zook and the guys will be along shortly.
That was a winning drive for Notre Dame right there. Good decision by Ian Book. Either at a touchdown or a field goal. Nothing in between.
Jonathan Dorr has only kicked one field goal this year, and he made it from 36 yards. This will be a 27-yard attempt.
Kirby's going to burn a timeout.
And there it is. So we'll let Dorr, the junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina, think about it a little bit.
So getting out of the half, something that Notre Dame couldn't do against Clemson in that semifinal playoff game. You know, they did not get pushed around that whole football game against Clemson until it got ugly at the end of the half. Right. And then it was all doors off.
Well, you said a couple of minutes ago, you said they got to get out of the half without any more damage. Yep. Here they're going to supply some damage.
Absolutely.
Here.
Winning drive. Remember, Georgia gets the ball to start the second half. Ian Book has had all the pressure is on the Notre Dame quarterback. He has come through in this game. They don't have a reliable running game. It has to be almost a running game with the short pass.
If you gave Brian Kelly the opportunity to say, I'll have a field goal lead at halftime, he would have taken that all day long. And he's got that opportunity coming up if his kicker is true.
They bring in the offense. I think they're going to throw one more fade pass to the end zone.
I was going to say, it is third down, not fourth.
I think they're going to throw one more fade pass to the end zone. Claypool is to the top. By Kirby taking the timeout, it allowed Claypool's up here. Do have double coverage help by the safety. Let's see what happens.
And Georgia took the timeout.
Yeah, another one.
So the chess match between Kirby Smart and Brian Kelly going on here.
Well, the chess match was a field goal at first.
Then they brought the offense back.
They said, well, why not throw a fade? And then he takes another timeout. What else could they do? Well, there isn't much else to do.
If they had tried a field goal on third down, they've always had the opportunity, if it's a fumbled snap or something, that they'd have another opportunity.
Well, they didn't have a timeout.
No, they didn't have a timeout, so they couldn't do that either.
You could, I mean, if you were really gutsy, could run a fake field goal pass. You know, some teams play their quarterback as the holder.
The only risk you run here is you can take a sack. It's history.
I know that, but Jay Bramlett, the holder on the play, was a high school quarterback. Could have a fake from the field goal by an extra play.
Well, Dorr is still standing on the sideline, so here comes the offense.
Book's still in. They're going to throw one up. Different look this time as well.
We got three wideouts. McKinley.
Give offensive coordinator Chip Long credit. He's changed up the look after the timeout.
McKinley's down to the bottom of your screen. Fink and Claypool up to the right. They're going to fade it for McKinley, and it's incomplete. But there's still 5 seconds on the clock. Now they'll bring out the field goal unit.
Well, that was a lot of talking for a field goal, wasn't it?
Sure was. We kind of wore ourselves out there.
Exactly. I'm worn out. Well, we have 3 timeouts, 2 different formations.
And now it'll still be a 27-yard field goal attempt, which is what we started with a few minutes ago. Jonathan Dorr to try to give the Irish the lead at halftime. And he does. Notre Dame comes into Athens, Georgia, a big underdog. They go to the locker room with a 3-point lead over the number 3 team in the country. How about this?
Well, they had to have their quarterback play ball, and he's played ball, and they have tackled. I said they have to tackle in space. Done that too.
Jamie's with the coach, who's up at the break.
Coach, you hit the ground running in this hostile environment. You overcame some miscues early, but what started to click offensively for you there?
Well, the game's playing well, seeing the field. Obviously, getting Cole Kmet back, allows us to do some more things in the passing game. And again, I think just being more diversified offensively allows us to spread the ball around a little bit. We're obviously didn't do a very good job getting our football team ready for a silent cadence. So that's on us, but we'll settle down in the second half. We'll be better at it.
Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think everything else is working pretty well, including Komet, who's got 7 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown. End of the half. 7th-ranked Notre Dame leads 3rd-ranked Georgia 10-7. As we go to Adam Zucker and the guys in our New York studio. Zuck.
All right, Ness, what a game so far. And coming up here on the Geico Halftime Report, Houston, BJ, and I get you caught up on a huge day for quarterbacks around college football and a running back after this word from your local station.
Notre Dame's got a field goal lead on the 3rd-ranked Georgia Bulldogs here at halftime. Each week, we'll be celebrating college football's 150th anniversary with a taste of tradition presented by Sonic. Here's Jamie.
Brad, as we've mentioned, this is only the 3rd meeting between these 2 historic programs. The first took place in the 1981 Sugar Bowl, where Georgia's freshman phenom Herschel Walker rushed for 150 yards and leading the Dogs to victory, an undefeated season, and a national title. But the historical connection between these 2 schools actually dates all the way back to 1921. That season, legendary Notre Dame coach Knute Rockne coached the Irish to a 10-1 record. The starting center on that team was Harry Meir. 7 seasons later, that same Harry Meir would become head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs.
And now they've got the Butts-Mehre building over here with the football offices. In Athens, halftime festivities going on. The Irish on the road leading the Dogs 10-7. Well, the light show continues at Sanford Stadium, but the hometown Georgia Bulldogs not exactly lighting up the scoreboard. They trail as we get set for the 3rd quarter. They will have the football first, but Notre Dame with a lead of 10-7. Third quarter underway. This one will be returned. James Cook trying to play outside. He's not going to get to the 20-yard line. Only got out to about the 15 as we welcome you back to Athens. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson. Notre Dame comes in big underdog. Here they are with the lead. And you surprised?
Yeah, I think I'm surprised, but I bet Notre Dame fan is even more surprised. They watched the first couple games. I think a few factors, but tackling. Have you seen tackling like that? I mean, they really have.
You've been preaching that to me since like Wednesday.
I know. I thought it was the key. And I think Brian Kelly saying Cole Komet has made a big difference in their offense. Gives them much more diversity.
Jake Fromm was 11 out of 12, but for only 59 yards passing. And Georgia only had 3 possessions in that first half. Trying to get DeAndre Swift going, and he only got about 2 yards as we check in with Jamie.
Well, I'll tell you the last thing I asked Kirby Smart, Coach, if you keep playing the way you're playing, do you win this game? He said, we don't. We have to continue to control those emotions and play downhill the way Notre Dame has been playing downhill against them defensively. Unfortunate news, though, for Georgia. It does seem like Solomon Kinley will be out of the rest of this game with that lower left injury.
And that has depleted what was the strong suit for Georgia, their offensive line. So 2 would-be starters not in there due to injury. Isaiah Wilson and now Solomon Kinley. 2nd down and 8. The motion man is Demetrius Robertson. Fromm throws over the middle, complete to Cager, and that's good for a 1st down.
See, this is where you really see the smarts from Jake Fromm. He wants to go left with his ball. His eyes go left from the start, then he goes to the middle, then back to the right side and completes the pass. That's when your quarterback's in charge, and protection gives him a chance to do it.
There's Aga 10. That's Q. He is a 4th-year redshirt junior out of Savannah.
What's he majoring in?
I don't know.
Undecided.
Yeah, undecided so far. 1st down. Swift, broken tackle. Trying to break another and did. Got out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. The first half game trends, as we said, Jake, almost perfect, but no big completions at all. Ian Book was sensational. 7 completions to his tight end, Cole Komet. And Georgia, first time they've trailed at the half at home in 3 years. This is their opening drive of the 3rd quarter. If you're just joining us, trailing by a field goal. Brian Harrion now in the Georgia backfield. He'll get the call, trying to get to the edge. Got there, got the 1st down. Good run by Brian Harrion.
This time got outside Khalid Kareem, number 53, and man on the line of scrimmage. You got around him. That created the space. Kareem couldn't get there, and Harrion gets to the edge. Kind of the downhill, exactly what Kirby was told Jamie. We got to get that ball downhill into the secondary a bit.
Georgia stays right up at the line, not really a hurry up, but they stay there as Fromm directs traffic with a first down at the 46. James Cook in motion to the top. Here comes an end around.
Great defense.
Landers is swarmed under by the Notre Dame defense. Owusu Koromoa was the first guy there.
And you got to play outside the play. Stay outside the play. Force him inside and then make the tackle. He knew he could push it inside. Warner could not get the block on him. Played it exactly the way you go watch practice, the begging him to play.
And a big loss, making it second down and 16. James Cook flanking Jake Fromm in the shotgun. I'd like to get him in space. He's got great speed. From deep middle. Did he catch it? Dominic Blaylock, did he take it off the turf? No. It was a little underthrown, I think.
So when you play the rover spot for Notre Dame, as you look at this ball, yeah, it bounced. It bounced. Owusu right there, Koromoa, is playing in coverage. Last time he's playing defensive end, whatever way it flanks. Sometimes he's got the slot, sometimes he's got the edge. That's how versatile he has to be.
Notre Dame seems like they got all kinds of guys that were safeties. Now they're linebackers. Corners have become safeties.
We may have spoke too soon here. We're going to take a look at this.
I still think it touched the ground, but
I thought it did. Worth a look. It was a big play.
Todd DeJoseph is a replay official. The back judge kind of right in the way, but it's on the ground there, I think.
I thought it moved after it hit the ground, no doubt. Good try. Ball was a little low. Could have been completed. He had a great matchup on the play. Owusu Koromoa was on coverage.
Putting on the field is confirmed. It's an incomplete pass.
Let's bring in Gene Steratore.
I think a great job by the back judge, who did get in our way on the screen, but I think that's because he's in great position.
That's right.
And the umpire also spun. Both officials came in and together ruled incomplete. Neither hand underneath of the football, so the ground is part of helping them with that process of the catch, and a really good job of incomplete, guys.
I was actually going to say he was in great position, even though he was in our camera view.
How hard it must be on Gene with the great game going on to watch the officials.
He doesn't have to be out there.
You have to concentrate to watch the officials.
Third down and 16. Georgia's really going to have to earn this one if they pick up a first down. And it's an inside handoff, DeAndre Swift. Swift broke one tackle, little lazy leg, got past the 50.
Now it's decision time.
Yeah, he's about 2 yards shy of the first down.
Past the 50-yard line. I think that may be the first decision Kirby's going to make. Should he go for it here? Get it in the secondary? No real chance. Runs through a couple tackles to make it a decision.
Here comes the punting unit. That takes DeAndre Swift over the 2,000-yard mark career-wise and averaging over 7 yards a carry, which is remarkable. And he's in some great company in both those categories. Camargo to kick. Chris Fink stands back inside his own 10 on the other end. And Fink just gets out of the way of this one. Can Georgia down it? Not quite. James Cook was down there. He just couldn't get to the ball. So a touchback. 10:49 remaining in the third quarter. Third-ranked Georgia, their head coach Kirby Smart still finding themselves down by 3. And now, do Project Smarter, presented by Home Depot. The Home Depot, and it's smart to get your tight end back from a collarbone injury.
Last week, Ian Book threw for 360 yards, but they were different plays than this. Now he's got a tight end. He makes a great interception here on a pass for a touchdown from his own quarterback. But Kmet has been the safety blanket for Ian Book. That's the best throw of the day, I think, by Ian down the gut. And Kmet has given him, as Brian told Jamie, I think more flexibility in the offense for everybody else.
There's his numbers. 6 for A 7 for 68 and a touchdown.
I know the Irish fans are saying keep it wide open. I don't know if they have anything else but to keep it open against this Georgia defense.
Book on the give to Tully Jones. Jones fighting for close to 4.
This is not a traditional rush offense for the Irish this year. Everybody knew that if this team was going to make a run at the championship or the playoffs again, it would be based on a pass offense helping their defense, their veteran defense. And that's why all the pressure's on Ian Book. He has to continue to make all the right decisions on every play.
Second and 6. Book pressure from behind. He got rid of it over the middle, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Jones.
Inaccurate. He had a potential to make a first down. Tony Jones is a very good receiving back out of the backfield, but you got to give him a chance on those short plays. Those receivers do not have enough time to react to the throw. This one, he thought that Jones was going to continue and cross the linebacker, and he pulled up right in front.
Azeez Ojulari and Malik Herring at least got a little pressure on Book that time. That's about the first time that he's felt a little heat from behind. Third down at 6. The throw in and out of the hands of Fink and intercepted by Georgia. Devon Wilson's got it. He drops it. He's got it again, and it's out of bounds. I think it's Georgia ball. That thing was like a bar of soap in the shower. Let's see who's got it.
Well, I think Georgia's going to end up with it. We're so close to, again, an inaccurate throw over the middle to Fink. He had him for a first down, but the ball's behind. Yeah, you got to make that catch. It's a tough catch, but it's one you expect your senior captain to make. It would have been a good catch, and then it ends up being an interception to Wilson on the play.
Devon had to find the handle on it about 4 times, and it finally goes out of bounds, and Georgia's got it at the Notre Dame 22-yard line.
And Tony Jones rips it out again on the play.
Play fake by Fromm. Gonna throw it back to Swift in the flat. DeAndre Swift break a tackle. Out of bounds. Inside the 15. Georgia trying to take advantage of an Irish turnover.
Swift was run out by the law.
A penalty marker at the end of the play around the 12-yard line.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 54, offense. 15-yard penalty, second down.
I think there was a block late on Kyle Hamilton, number 14, was the call.
Justin Schaefer, the backup guard who's in there because Kinley's out with the injuries, the guilty party.
For a second, I thought they were going to call it on Troy Pride, but you could see it. I think it was the number 14 from behind. There's the hit, and it had to be called. Come in the game, you want to do something, you want to get in the action, you're in for Kinley, and you end up making a big mistake.
So now it's second and 17 back at the 29. Quick pass, Charlie Warner catches it, goes to a knee at around the 23. Ian Book talking to Chip Long. That's the first interception this season.
Yeah, he had 2 inaccurate passes in a row. Now, whether they were miscommunication on the first one, but the second one was behind Fink and it cost him.
Fromm's going, let's hurry up, guys.
And remember, right now you're sitting there as a defensive coordinator saying, should I pressure this guy? Fromm is so good throwing off his back foot. I don't think so.
He's got to hustle to get the play off. 2 on the clock, just in the nick of time, and here comes a full blitz. Fromm throwing to the end zone, just off the fingertips of Demetrius Robertson.
Yeah, see that? Fromm is so good at throwing that fade route that you hold your breath when you blitz. And we saw him in the SEC championship game, puts him right down the pipe. He knew he had one-on-one from the slot. He throws it, and this is a 50-50 ball with Crawford. The crowd thinks he got his hands on him.
He might be right.
I think that's incidental. So now I'd really like to see what Gene thinks of this. To me, it's incidental.
Rodrigo Blankenship will try a 40-yard field goal. He's perfect so far this year. He still is. Georgia draws even on their senior kicker. We're tied at 10. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Izod, Chick-fil-A, State Farm, and by GMC. So Georgia with a 40-yard field goal to draw even at 10-10. 8.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and kind of a controversial play, or was it not? Gene, what do you think about this? Would it pass interference or not?
You know, what draws your attention at first is the defensive back really never looks back to see where the football is. Our terminology is he's not playing ball, so really any contact rises to a higher level because of that. But in my opinion, although he doesn't look back, look, the contact, the hand fighting, a little play there, the reach of the arm, I don't think any of those actions rise to a level where it's materially restricting the receiver or putting him at a disadvantage that would rise to a level of a foul. I think it's a great no call, guys.
Great. Thanks, Gene. Kickoff will go out of the end zone. Bring it out to the 25-yard line. Our aerial coverage is sponsored by State Farm. A packed house, over 93,000, largest crowd ever at Sanford Stadium as you look in from high above.
So now can the Georgia defense get another stop? You know, this is Kirby's guys. This is what he built as a defense. So far, Notre Dame's offense been controlling the game. No havoc plays, no big plays until that interception. Can they turn that turnover into something good for the defense to continue on for Georgia?
It doesn't seem like the total yardage, the number of plays, and the average per play should be even, but it is almost dead even. Here's Book. Throws out in the flat to Keys. And Keys got out for a couple, maybe three. Let's take a look at tonight's Scholar Athletes, brought to you by Amazon Music. Chris Fink for Notre Dame, one of their captains, and Rodrigo Blankenship, who I just mentioned after the field goal. Amazon Music showing their commitment to the investment of our future by donating $1,000 to Notre Dame and Georgia's General Scholarship Fund. Fink, a senior out of Dayton, Ohio. He's in there right now. And it's Cole Kmet in motion. Second down and 7 for Ian Book. Book fires. That one was almost intercepted by J.R. Reed, and he would have had a touchdown had he held on to it. It's the second time tonight J.R.'s got his hands on one of those.
And this time Ian Book never took his eyes off of Kmet. He watches him the whole time as this play goes. And that allows the Georgia secondary to react actually before he throws the ball.
Big third down here for both teams. And they're going to have to call a timeout. Ian Book didn't like the looks of something out there. A third down and 7 with 7:46 to go in the third when we come back. Tuesday at 9 Eastern, join CBS Sports Network's team of experts in the studio to tackle all the hottest topics on the gridiron. Don't miss Inside College Football on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Let's check in with Jamie.
A tough look for Georgia behind me. Solomon Kinley has emerged back out on the bench, but it was on crutches, and he has a boot on that left leg. But that's just on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, they are continuing to be depleted. Tyson Campbell never played in this game at corner. Eric Stokes is on the bench with that right ankle injury. He's not playing. And David Marshall, left foot injury. He's on the bench, not playing either.
All right, Jamie, thanks. And they could use all the help they can get right now, trying to hold Notre Dame without a first down on this 3rd and 7. Komet switches sides and sets up in a slot on the left. Fink in motion. Ian Book across the middle, competes at the Keys. Keys trying to get to the sideline. He's going to be short, well short of the first down.
So Notre Dame shifted, and then he went in motion, and it told Ian Book that Georgia is in a zone. Because all they did is rotate their linebackers. Nobody else moved. Thus, they have basically a wide receiver screen coming from the opposite side. A very safe play, but a play not likely to get a first down.
So Devon Wilson, who had the interception that led to this Georgia field goal, has the tackle there that makes them come up short.
Yeah, and that's one of the guys that had to step up. Jamie said 2 of the key corners are out, and number 1 had to come through. The freshman.
True freshman punter to a true freshman receiver, as it's Blaylock back this time instead of Simmons, who bobbled one and dropped one that cost Georgia some points. Blaylock fields this fair catch cleanly, and Georgia will go back to work on offense with just under 7 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter.
I'm just wondering if they called something sideline on Notre Dame, because the coaching staff is very upset. I know it's a formation that they're calling.
We've seen more penalties on punts this year through a couple of weeks.
Well, a lot of the teams are using exotic punt formations where they put people in motion and shift, and they're just not doing it in the proper timing. 2 people are moving at the same time, about as fast as Brian Kelly's mouth is moving right there to the official.
Illegal formation offense, not enough men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down, Georgia.
So they add on the 5 at the end of the play. And the head linesman still getting an earful from the Notre Dame head coach. Just under 7 to play in the 3rd quarter. Number 3 and number 7 knotted at 10. Tuesday on CBS, Ziva is back on the season premiere of television's #1 drama, NCIS. Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on CBS.
Well, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is an edge defender, kind of like a rover. Has to play in space. He makes the tackle in space, comes up, handles a one-on-one tackle. He is an elite player, has elite quickness. Really, all over the field, he has been tonight probably the star, except for maybe the safeties. The star of the defense has been number 6.
First down for Georgia from its own 33-yard line. Georgia hasn't aimed one at George Pickens, their freshman receiver. Here's Brian Arian into the secondary and near the 49-yard line.
You know, the only drive that really worked for a touchdown for Georgia is when they went power and ran the ball effectively against Notre Dame. If they gash a couple of these, that'll open up the deep ball. No deep balls in the game. Georgia has to be wondering, when is it going to break to throw the ball deep, because Notre Dame has not allowed them anything deep. They haven't even tried one.
No. First down on the run by Harry. Pickens, the guy I was talking about, is to the top of your screen. Play action from deep out, near side, got it. Demetrius Robertson for another first down at the 31-yard line.
When Jake was a freshman, the first thing we noticed is how well he threw the ball to the outside of the hash. From the far sideline, he's about as good as you have as throwing that ball to the sideline. He's very accurate with the football on that out route.
Pick up at 19, back to throw again, looking for more. Scans the field, crossing route. Brian Harrion might have another first down. He does, just outside the 20.
When you give Fromm time to throw the ball, he's going to do it. And this time, Thomas does a great job of keeping that block in the pocket free for Fromm to step up.
They've got it to the 20. Here's a quick slant. Cager goes to the deck to make the catch and a pickup of 5.
Kind of laugh. There's a little stat when Fromm throws more than 30 balls, they lose. I'm telling you, this guy can throw in any offense. They just choose not to do it in the pass. They have have the lead, they run the ball well, and they don't have to do it. We saw him 25 for 39 against Alabama, and in the championship game, he was a great player as well.
He said he was in a zone. He didn't feel like he could miss a pass.
Yes.
The reason the fans are booing is because there's a guy down, and it's Owusu Koromoa, who is down on one knee, and just when Georgia had their hurry-up working, they're saying that he's stopping the flow.
He wanted to watch that package of himself.
Yes.
Brad, I think the fans were correct. Watch the two players involved. Number 6 goes down. Kehoe goes. Gilman says, "Get down." Get down for the injury. And they were right. The fans were. That was not an injury. That was from the bench. The signal right there.
Stop the flow of the Georgia offense, at least temporarily. 2nd down and 5 now. Jake Fromm hustles out. It's going to be a direct snap to DeAndre Swift. And he only spins for about 2. So Georgia goes with a little wild dog offense with DeAndre Swift. Didn't really net him that much. So now they find themselves with a 3rd down just when they had things rolling. They're down to 3.
Hard to take the ball out of 11's hands, right? I mean, it's, you know, that guy just pretty good with the ball in his hands and having the running back next to him. They don't have a play yet, and they're under 10 seconds.
Directing traffic down with 8-7 from in the gun. 3 wideouts and a tight end. Here comes everybody for Notre Dame. From given ground, throws on the run to the end zone. Got it! No, in and out of the hands of Simmons. He had it and lost it. Tariq Bracy got a hand in there and popped it out.
He sure did. He kept fighting the whole way, never gave up on the play. Tyler Simmons does the thing he's supposed to, go to the back of the end zone, has it for a second, bobbles it, and then it's poked away.
I can't believe Fromm got that much on that ball just to get it to that point.
They were trying to go to DeAndre Swift that time. Was defended properly, and Fromm had to go elsewhere and almost made the play.
Well, Rodrigo Blankenship to try to give Georgia its first lead of the night. So be a 31-yard attempt. He's 6 for 6 on the year. The kick is up, and it's perfect. And the Dogs at home finally taking a lead, and it took them to the 4:21 mark of the 3rd quarter. Some mysteries can't be explained. Don't miss the premiere of Evil Thursday at 10, 9 Central on CBS. Georgia fans think Notre Dame was pretty evil through 3 quarters here with the lead, with Georgia being a heavy favorite, but Rodrigo Blankenship's field goal has given Georgia its first advantage, 13-10.
And the fake injury by Owusu Koromoa that time was big. That stopped the flow by Georgia on that drive.
And Hot Rod Blankenship gets it 6 yards deep in the end zone. They'll take a knee. Lawrence Keys, and they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. We've been talking about Ian Book and who he reminded Gary of, and this is the guy we were talking about a little bit earlier.
Yeah, those quick feet, being able to do a lot of things in the pocket, Joe. Throwing on the run, he was a magician. He got to be a better pocket passer when he went to the NFL, but his style when he played, you know, I just remember how quick he was in the pocket.
Got a hold. How do you have a holding call on a touchback? Not quite sure, but
yeah, it was about the 40-yard line they called it. So as the ball was sailing, they are going to take a 10-yard retreat here.
You know what I remember about Joe? Every Sunday morning after church, we'd turn on the TV and they'd have the replay of the Irish the day before, and it was Lindsey Nelson.
I know.
And we pick up the action later in the 3rd quarter.
Right. 1 game a weekend back then, right?
Yep, that's right. The initial signal from the official was holding, but maybe it was this instead.
Yeah. It was probably hold off all the talk. This might be a good no call, or a call on both teams and offsetting. They don't want to get in the way of this, do they?
Right.
Holding during the kick, number 44, the receiving team. Penalty will be 10 yards from the previous spot. will re-kick.
Well, if they re-kick, Rodrigo Blankenship's going to kick it out of Clark County up over the scoreboard.
You know, that must be, I wonder if that's on a untouched ball, if there's any options for Kirby to take. Because he'd rather move him back, wouldn't he?
For
than
sure.
Re-kick?
Yes.
The only thing I can speculate is he has no choice but to re-kick.
So it apparently is going to be another kickoff for Georgia coming up here. That's a new one on me.
No, that's the only thing I think, unless they're going to try an onside kick here.
Yeah, we've seen Kirby with some.
But you know, he had to explain to Kirby what the deal was. And
so now they're at the 45.
That's one of those rules, you know, you go down like it's on page 345, exception 3B, unless there's a tax code violation.
And there's only 346 pages.
Exactly. I have no idea.
All right, Hot Rod's going to kick this thing probably out of the stadium, unless, as Gary said, they would pull some sort of pooch kick or onside kick. And they do drill it down the middle. And it's fielded and taken and bounced outside by Keys. I beg your pardon, that's Shane Simon.
See, there's no way that they would have taken that option unless they were forced to.
Keys territory rules official. Gene, I'd never seen that one before.
Differential on this play, Brad, is that on a scrimmage kick or punt, we have an option to put it on the end of the kick, or we have to re-kick with the penalty. In a free kick situation, the only two options are that they either decline that foul and take the result of that kick, or they take the kick at the 10-yard penalty. I think that's where we ran into that, and they decided to take the penalty to try to get a squib kick there and gain additional yardage inside of the 20, and it kind of backfired on them.
It did. They got a yard more out of that. All that business at the 26-yard line.
Again, there was no option to take the 10-yard penalty and move him back 10 yards after the spot, after the kick out to the 25-yard line.
So for all the Georgia fans that say, why didn't Kirby take the penalty? Yes. That's right.
That's why he had to explain it to Kirby. Kirby goes, huh?
On the play, the clock did not start. Please reset the clock to 4 minutes and 15 seconds, please.
So Notre Dame in the second half has gone 3 plays and an interception, 3 plays and a punt. They've thrown the ball 5 times and run it once. They're trying to do what they did in the first half. Georgia's moved up. I think Notre Dame has to throw the ball deeper. They are squatting on all the throws. Even if you waste it down, they got to throw the ball deep.
Notre Dame has 21 rushing yards in the ball game from the 26. They'll try this one. Tony Jones trying to pop it outside. Give him 2 or 3 more.
Just elite speed, 11-man speed on that defense. So it was almost facing like NFL speed, and Notre Dame does not have the back that could really do the DeAndre Swift type of a running attack.
Tyler Clark is the guy that stood him up and got help from his friends.
You know, Dexter Williams was the guy that did it a year ago. Remember, he was hurt the first 4 games, and how different Notre Dame looked when he came in after those first 4 games. They just don't look like they got that guy now.
Jones again. This time he does pop it outside. And again, the Georgia defense stops him shy of the first down. And he gets up holding his ribs a little bit.
Yeah, well, Leon Eichenberg, that time, number 74, has been offsides, and we've seen a few penalties, and we've been talking about it, but that time he came around and threw a pretty good block. Got in front of us. So now 3rd and short. This has been a problem for the Irish in their 2 games so far. How do you call this one?
1 for 8 today, 1 for 10 last week on 3rd down.
And
the big shift.
Ian Brooks had 1 rush for 1 yard in the game.
Komet, the tight end, is in the slot on the right side. He just took off early again. He and Claypool, I think, both got a head start, and now it's going to be 3rd and longer.
False start. Offense number 84. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's the 5th false start penalty on Notre Dame tonight. You can thank the crowd for some of that.
I'm wondering if Ian Book was trying to draw Georgia off sides with a fake hands, a silent count, a little bit like Aaron Rodgers does it. Watch how he moves here to try to draw him off. Watch as he fakes the snap, and he doesn't get it.
And if you thought it was noisy on the previous third down, listen to this. 3rd and 7.
They better be careful. Going to have to take a timeout. Did Brian Kelly take one or not? They did.
.234 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And you saw the Georgia fans really giving themselves a little nod there because they know that they've gotten Notre Dame confused a few times with the noise in here. Coming up next Saturday, SEC on CBS features the Rebels of Ole Miss heading into Tuscaloosa, trying to upset the 2nd-ranked Crimson Tide of Alabama. We'll be there. It all kicks off the State Farm College Football today at 3 Eastern right here on CBS. Tua Tagovailoa just had another average day at the office today.
I think that's 17 touchdown passes so far, no interceptions.
5 more today.
Yeah.
Yep. Remember, these 2 guys aren't out there either, so Tony Jones has to carry all the load himself. Notre Dame down to 1 timeout after taking that one. 3rd and 7. Empty backfield. Ian Book looking left, goes that way, throws, he's short of the 1st down.
Right as he caught it, he made the tackle, not an inch.
Now they're going to say incomplete, I think.
Yes.
Devon Wilson's had a pretty good game in the secondary, Garrett.
He sure is. He's the dime back. Might have moved up a little bit with the injuries. But number 1 right there makes the play. He's on the slot. He's got fake. 1-on-1. He knows where the first down. Look at the squat. See those defensive backs are not moving back, especially on 3rd down. You're going to have to run them deep on 3rd down. They're not moving.
Georgia might be a man short on their punt return team, and now flags fly in, and another false start on Notre Dame.
False start. Offense number 52. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
So remember, this was, 3rd and 2? And 2 false starts, an incomplete pass in between. The crowd is having a huge impact in this football game.
Sada Bramlett backs up 5 more yards. There's the part of the record crowd that's making a lot of the noise. Dominic Blaylock is just going to get out of the way of this point.
Let that ball land on the ground. It cost you 15 yards.
Boy, they had a fumble earlier by Simmons. They put Blaylock in there, and he lets that one go.
Yeah, well, Blaylock's a young player, and that's like losing 15 yards with a penalty.
And he's going, what was I supposed to do?
Well, that's why you're back there. You got to go make that catch.
A 58-yard punt with a roll down inside the 20 to the 18.
That really flips the field. You work so hard to move them back and hold it, and then if you can't field them or they punt low or they're directional kicking, you got to put 2 guys back there. Or whatever, but that really hurts you losing 15 yards not catching the ball on a 40-yard punt.
There's a look at Dooley Field in Sanford Stadium. 93,246. Largest crowd ever to watch a football game in this facility or in the state of Georgia for that matter. And now the Dogs with a lead with 2:18 remaining from the 18-yard line. DeAndre Swift got it out to the 25. DeAndre Swift, when he scores a touchdown, Georgia's 11-1. He does have a 3-yard touchdown earlier in the game, but he's had to work for his yards. 61 yards on 12 carries for DeAndre.
Well, we do all the SEC games and talk to all the coordinators, and every defensive coordinator in the league says they hold their breath because number 7 can take it to the house on any play. Notre Dame has controlled them so far.
James Cook in motion. He fakes the handoff, and here's Swift. And a hurdle into the secondary for DeAndre Swift. And another 1st down, Georgia.
He went right over number 20, Sean Crawford that time barely broke stride. I don't know if he was a hurdler in high school, but he could have been. That's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. First down at the 35.
You know, the three and outs from the Notre Dame offense is now catching up with their defense.
Swift stays in there in the backfield with Jake Fromm in the final minute of the third quarter. DeAndre ran into a wall. Now he got into the secondary. He's got another first down. Spinning his way. It appears for a first down at the 45.
It's so important for the offense to help the defense. When you go 3 and out 3 straight times, your defense starts to get gassed. And those tackles that were so easy now become arm tackles.
Now we get another Notre Dame player down, and again the crowd is going to boo.
And they should be penalized if the officials see it. If they see it, they need to call it. But it's tough to see.
And that's Asmar Bilal.
Yeah, and that one, it would look like he had a chin strap problem when he went down on a knee. And that is, if seen by the officials, that is an unsportsmanlike penalty.
And Jake Fromm saying, hey.
There's no doubt on the first one. They got away with one. Now, we don't, you don't know 100%. It was Jake Jordan went. Look right there. Come on. But there's no doubt that Notre Dame is using that as a tactic once.
Let's bring in Gene Steratore, who's been in this situation before, many times.
I have, Brad, and Gary, to your point, the first scenario when you have a teammate pulling another teammate down to tell him he's injured, I agree that jumps out. The situation the officials are in here, though, guys, is look, when a player voluntarily goes down, you cannot ask an official to assume that player is hurt at that time. It's a difficult place to be in as an official. We may think we know why he's going down, but we cannot assume that with safety being involved.
You saw Bilal come by Jake Fromm, and Fromm's shoulder kind of ran into his face mask.
Fromm's got sharp elbows.
Babies are really sharp, I guess. Anyway, they're putting eye drops in on the sideline.
I think Gene's point is right on, though. How do you know for sure, right? If you call a penalty, the guy's really hurt. Looks like he got stuck in the eye there, and you got to.
They're on the side of caution.
Absolutely, for the injury of the player.
First and 10, Herring in the backfield now with Fromm. He'll get the call and just barely got back to the line of scrimmage before Tagovailoa Amosa made the stop from his defensive tackle position.
Yeah, inside, with the graduation of Jerry Tillery, their big stout 3 technique inside tackle, first-round pick. There was questions of could they stand up and hold up inside. They've done a good job inside.
Well, 3 quarters in the books. Number 3, Georgia took the lead in that quarter, and now the cell phone lights will come out at Sanford Stadium, and the 4 fingers will go up. Who will control the fourth quarter? Number 3, Georgia, or number 7, Notre Dame? Stick around with us and find out. During the timeout, the LED lights go down, the red lights come out, and then the cell phones look like fireflies in the Georgia night. And that's the setup to set up our fourth quarter. 13-10. Number 3, Georgia leading number 7, Notre Dame. 15 minutes remaining. Here we go. We wanted a close game between number 3 and number 7. We got it, partner.
I think Brian Kelly, if you asked him 3 hours ago, would you take 13-10?
Yep.
He'd take it. But the bad part is 3 straight 3 and outs. He's starting to get a gas defense. The Georgia team has run 22 plays in the third quarter, and they really had to take one dive to slow them down, and for instance, to slow down one drive. So right now, Georgia has taken control of this football game.
Let's see how Jake Fromm does to open the fourth quarter. From the 46-yard line, Fromm throws long left sideline. Got it to Cager.
The transfer, number 15 from the University of Miami, is matched up one-on-one with the outside with Crawford. Again, great coverage, puts it in a spot not even a professional corner could handle.
Back to the red zone and back to the air goes Fromm, and back to Cager he goes.
This time it's a slant. Went fade, come back to a slant. Did he have his hands on him before the catch?
Fouls for illegal touching. Offense number 89. Number 89 was covered by a wide receiver. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Penalties on Charlie Warner, and he sort of shrugs his shoulders as if to say, I don't get it. I was set up where I wanted to be.
It must be he went downfield and hit somebody before the ball was completed downfield. Because he's covered, he's not allowed to go down the field and block. Cager lined up on the line of scrimmage and covered up his eligible receiver.
There's the contact back there with Warner running into Drew White, the middle linebacker.
If you see it, covered the tight end on the play, it's a good call. When Warner goes downfield and blocks, that is an illegal play.
So just when it looked like it was going to be 1st and goal, instead it's 1st and 15 back around the 23.
And remember earlier they had the unnecessary roughness on the goal line that backed them up and stalled when they had the 4-play -1 yard drive. Another penalty that could stall a potential touchdown drive. This Notre Dame defense has to force a field goal to stay in this game.
Simmons, Pickens, and Blaylock, the 3 wideouts for Jake Fromm on 1st and 15. They'll keep it on the ground to Harry. Harry, a little juke move, nice move to the 15. Got some of it back.
Doesn't it look different? Doesn't it look like Georgia is faster now? In the first half, it looked like the Irish had the fast legs. Now they've worn down just a half a step, and the Georgia players look quicker.
And the tackling's not quite as crisp.
Not as crisp. You know, usually when they say poor tackling, you think the guy doesn't know how to tackle. What it is, he's out of position. That's why he's reaching and making plays. Right now, the Irish aren't in as great a position as they were in the first half, when they were fresher.
Inside the 15. Here comes the blitz. Here's the lob to the corner. Pickens. No.
That's great coverage. It would have taken a fantastic catch by Pickens. This time it was Bracey, number 28. Remember, he popped the ball out earlier in the game on the fade. He's got it one-on-one. It's just him.
I think that's the first time they've targeted him, Gary.
Didn't he have one where he knocked the guy out of the back of the end zone on one? I thought he knocked the ball loose. Might be wrong. I think that's a good call. That's fighting for a 50-50 ball.
Yep.
A little bit of jersey right there. He had some jersey. It's hard to use your vertical when a guy's got his hands on the jersey, right?
3rd down and 7.
They could have called that. 3rd look.
All out blitz. Fromm lets it fly. Back shoulder. Cager. Touchdown.
I think he got his right foot down. I think when he spun, he got his
running on the field was a catch for a touchdown. That play is under further review.
Troy Pride, number 5. Good position, but another perfect back shoulder throw. And this time, Cager twists and gets his right foot down. One-on-one. Pride matched up with Cager, who has got this thing going.
Can't throw it much better or can't catch it much better than that. And Georgia strikes here in the 4th quarter.
Well, remember, Jake Fromm had, 60 yards passing at a halftime, 59. Now he's at 172. They've turned him loose.
Let's check in with Gene, see what he thinks.
What they're looking at right now, guys, is
field touchdown is confirmed.
Totally agree with that ruling of confirmation. The receiver is falling after getting 1 foot down, and he must retain possession of that football through the fall, which he does through the entire replay. It's good when they look at a play like this, guys, and they put it away so quickly. We don't have a 4-minute delay on it.
I agree with you, 100%.
By the way, Cager, 6'5", Pro Pride, 5'11".
The extra point by Blankenship is good. And suddenly Georgia up double digits at home. 13-19 left. Their junior quarterback, who doesn't lose often, has got his team in command right now. Let's take a look at our ExxonMobil game recap between number 7 and number 3 here. Georgia with the lead right now, but they had some problems on special teams. This fumbled punt by Tyler Simmons at the 8-yard line led to Notre Dame's score. Ian Book looking for the back of the end zone, but his tight end snares it before it got there. Notre Dame led 7-0. DeAndre Swift, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year from 3 yards out. That tied it at 7. Notre Dame did a great job, or has to this point, on tackling in the open field, but they're starting to crumble a little bit in that category. And now Jake Fromm just hit Lawrence Cager on a touchdown of 15 yards, and Georgia's got a 20-10 lead. And there's the lead dog, as I called him earlier, firing up his team over there on the sideline.
Yeah, and when you look at it, when you went through that whole sequence, I mean, Notre Dame's had success on offense, but their only scoring touchdown drive was on a turnover and a 9-yard drive that really a busted play for their touchdown. But I think the story of the second half is the Georgia defense has stepped up. 3 straight 3-play drives, 2 3-and-outs, and 1 3-play interception has gassed the Notre Dame defense.
Blankenship to kick. About 9 times out of 10, it's a touchback when he kicks it. And same story, different day. 13-19 to play in regulation. If you're just joining us, Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl, and Gene Steratore from a sold-out Sanford Stadium, Dooley Field, the largest crowd ever to see a football game here. 93,246. The toughest ticket probably ever in this stadium's history.
No foul for an illegal wedge.
So we're going to pick
down
that
to
flag.
25-yard line.
Brian
And again,
Kelly
that is a new rule. Even if you form the wedge and don't block anyone, it'll be called an illegal wedge. Even if you put 2 players together, it's an illegal wedge. You don't even have to block anyone.
First and 10, Notre Dame and the Fighting Irish, 25.
Notre Dame fans sitting on their hands a little bit now. Georgia fans are not.
The offense has to get back into this football game for Notre Dame. How do they do it? Georgia's been squatting on every throw. They saw the first half short passing game, and they said, Notre Dame, do something different.
Come a blitz. Tony Jones on the toss. He'll lose a yard. Georgia bringing some heat on the ground game that time.
The Georgia defense has kind of put their heels in the ground and will not back up. No speed to force this defense to back up from Notre Dame. Nothing has scared them so far.
Here's what Gary was talking about in the second half. It's been all Georgia. Time of possession, yardage, number of plays. 2nd and 11 for Ian Book. Over the middle, completes it to Claypool. Claypool with a spin move, and he's going to be a yard or so shy of the first down. They'll bring up 3rd.
3rd and short. Remember, they've had illegal procedure penalties in this situation.
All 3 receivers to the near side. Jones, I think he got the first down. Didn't end up there, but I think he got enough forward progress to move the sticks. And he did.
And right now, the Georgia defensive staff and players are going, thank you, we need a blow. 2 or 3 more first downs, get into scoring position. I bet Brian Kelly already is thinking, if we get this thing near the 50-yard line, I'm playing 4-down football.
The first down of the half for the Fighting Irish. From the 35, Fink in motion. They fake the toss to him. And now Book comes up, fire. He's got a man wide open out there. Tremble. Tommy Tremble. That's his first catch, I believe.
Nice call by the staff from Notre Dame that time. Chip Long knows his team needed something. They twisted it around a little bit, found a little different wrinkle, and got the play.
Tommy Tremble, whose daddy played here for Georgia in the secondary back in the day in the 90s. Highly recruited kid from this part of the country. And that's his first catch, and it's a big one. Here's a flea flicker. Book getting chased, throws on the run, and it is intercepted by J.R. Reed. He's had his hands on two other ones. He got both hands on that one.
This is a veteran move and an athletic move at the same time. Watch how far J.R. Reed is away from this receiver when he breaks on the ball. What a play by the leader of that secondary. J.R. Reed is right here. Watch how far he has to go. He's back, and then he starts to run. And he beats the pass there. You know Ian Book thought he had.
His daddy was a great receiver in the NFL. Junior looking pretty good with that one. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Sonic, Progressive, the Home Depot, and by Bud Light. The interception was under review, Garrett.
Yeah, first thing, you're going to get a corner blitz here from the outside by number 26, Tariq McGee. But the play that J.R. Reed, he's 10 yards deep on this play. Interceptions to go. Watch J.R. Reed, how deep he is on this play and how he reacts. 10 yards deep, he beats the throw to Fink on the play and makes a big-time safety play. The pressure on the blitz forced Book out of the pocket, and then he cuts off the throw. He anticipated. What great safety play.
First and 10 Dogs at the Georgia 33.
As you heard the PA announcers say, first and 10 Dogs at their own 33. With a 10-point lead now and 11-11 to go in regulation. Jake Fromm under center with DeAndre Swift behind him. And it's DeAndre Swift into the second level. And another first down, and now he's starting to close in on 100.
Yeah, the misconception about this Georgia offensive line is that all Georgia wants to do is pound. Well, they don't do that. They loosen you up, but then when they get control of the game, they can pound you. When you get a little bit tired, they have the option to pound you with that running back right there.
Probably one carry shy of a 100-yard night for DeAndre Swift. Got it out to the 48-yard line.
Isaiah Wilson, number 79 in the game, did not start, been injured, but he has made some key blocks like that one right there again.
Swift got to the 50. That should put him just about at 100.
Yeah, he's electric, and he can cut. We've been seeing this for 3 years, basically. When he sticks his foot in the ground, he can cut, power inside, he catches the ball to the backfield, and when he gets to the second level, he can go over the second level.
He makes his own level there.
Yes.
He's got 98 yards on 16 carries.
That's the fear. He's like Ezekiel Elliott. He's like a touchdown waiting to happen at any time.
Brian Herrion's going to give him a breather. Herrion hasn't had a bad game either. Fromm off the play fake. Throws down the middle and throws a dart to Demetrius Robertson again.
What a read by the quarterback this time. The linebacker jumps the running back, so you're going to come behind him. Watch him jump the running back inside. When you got the running back, look at the space behind the linebacker. You know you're going to throw it in that area. All of us that have played quarterback, that's the read. You watch that middle linebacker. If he jumps those running backs, you're going right over his shoulder.
So another Georgia first down at the 35. Look at the difference a half makes. Even though he only missed one pass, only 59 yards, but Jake Fromm has warmed it up.
Yeah, it seems like also a different commitment to throwing the ball downfield, too.
Herrion back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. Tagovailoa Amosa from his defensive tackle spot. Makes another stop. We're under 9 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and Jake Fromm's so smart. He's also now starting to work that clock. Snaps the ball late in the play clock. He knows he's got the lead. No need to go fast now. See it? He knows exactly where it is. Going to get that thing down under 10 before he even starts to lift the foot up.
Swift spins and is dropped. Nice tackle. Drew White made the first hit, and then Owusu Koromoa put him down. Don't forget, later in the game, the play of the game presented by Jersey Mike Subs. Jake Fromm's favorite saying is, "You can't go broke taking a profit." Well, he's profiting here in the second half for his third-ranked Bulldogs.
It was interesting. We asked J.R. Reed, who faces him all the time in practice Friday, what makes him so good? And he goes, I tell our guys, you have to disguise, but if we do, if one guy's out of sync, he'll read it and gash you.
3rd and 10. Pressure coming on Fromm this time, and he's going to run it right up the middle. Takes a hit and another, and he's very close. If they give him the spot that it looks like one of the officials gave him, it might be a first down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the Georgia staff is holding their breath on this stuff. Backup quarterback this year is a walk-on, Stetson Bennett. Justin Fields playing for Ohio State. Jacob Easton's playing for Washington the last 2 years. He's on his own. Taking those hits long-term is worrisome. He needs to know when to get 7 or 8 yards. You're looking right there at Stetson. When you get 7 or 8 yards, take a slide.
The review.
I think they're going to look at the spot on this.
Good job by the replay official. Called it a first down, but the yard line to gain, it was in question. They had to get to the 25-yard line.
And you see the yellow line, and that's not official, but it's pretty darn close. Gene Steratore, what do you think?
I know we all will look to see where that football kind of ends, guys, but let's remember it's when that body part which marks the runner down officially, it's where the football is when that occurs. And if we look and see the backside of the quarterback here, when his backside hits the ground at that point there, it is where the football is at that moment. I'm looking at the 25.5-yard line. He's going to be about a half yard short of the line.
After review, runner was short of the line to gain. It will be 4th and 1 from the 26-yard line.
And there you have it.
Yeah, I don't know what a field goal does to really help Georgia here right now. 13-point game. Are you going to go for it? You got all these 5-star offensive linemen. Do you try to make this 4th down play?
The discussion going on with Robertson, Fromm,
I think
Kirby
if I'm
Smart.
Kirby Smart, I'm going to go for this. Just don't see what a field goal gives you. I know you could kick another field goal later. I get that. But right now, I think it might be worth trying to pick this up.
With 7:16 to go, there might not be a later.
Good point. And it's less than a yard. I'm looking at my team if I'm Kirby and go, sometime in this season we're going to need one like this. Let's do it right now and show we got it. Now he's going to go field goal.
Yep. Now Rodrigo Blankenship is perfect on the season. 2 for 2 tonight. This will be a 43-yard attempt, so a little bit deeper for Hot Rod. From the left hash. Blankenship from 43. Right down Lumpkin Street. Tack on 3 more, and a 13-point lead for the Bulldogs.
We're back in the saddle, back on stage making
To the back of the end zone, caught by Clement for the touchdown. DeAndre Swift to the end zone, touchdown Georgia.
Makes the catch, did he get the foot in? Yeah!
A record crowd in their saddle, and they sure have made a whole lot of rattle at Sanford Stadium. 13-point lead now for the Dogs with 6:54 remaining in the ballgame. To the 25 for the Notre Dame offense, and out to New York and Adam Zucker.
Hey, Ness. Texas was down at home to undefeated Oklahoma State in their conference opener until flea flicker. Sam Ehlinger connecting with Cade Brewer for his 4th touchdown pass of the night. Longhorns defense stepping up as well. They're up 13 with about 2 minutes to go. Back to you.
Here we've got just under 7 to go. The second half possession's not pretty.
Yeah, so when you got 14 plays in this whole second half, that's not good enough. It's going to have to be, remember the end of the half, that field goal drive Notre Dame, that's how the tempo they're going to have to play now. They don't have time to waste anything. They got to play up-tempo right from the start.
Book, quick slant, knocked out of the hands of the intended receiver Claypool. He took a shot. Richard LeCounte and Tyreek McGee put the wood to him.
Yeah, and again, this Georgia defense is not backing up. No deep balls, nothing down the middle, and the safeties are jumping everything that comes in front of them right now.
LeCounte and J.R. Reed, the veteran safeties back there for Georgia. 2nd and 10. Book, quarterback draw. He's going to throw off it. Got it to Komet. I thought he was going to run with it, but he threw. Komet's got reception number 8.
So Komet had 7 catches in the first half, and he's been blanked in the second half. So now.
That was a nifty play.
It was. I don't know if it was drawn up that way, but it worked.
Yep. Third down and a yard at 6.5 to play. They fake it to Jones. They come up fire, an easy pitch and catch to Claypool for the first down.
Claypool big and rangy. This time almost conceded. If you're going to throw the quick out on 3rd and 1, I might have to give that to you. Well executed. It was off the play action play, but he knew he had Claypool all the way.
Book scans the field, has time, pump fakes. Running for his life now. He'll keep it. He got a good gain out of it. It's good on Jamie.
A great snag there by Chase Claypool in that last play. He is a talent that comes from outside of Vancouver, a small town called Abbotsford. Not a lot of wide receivers come out and go on to play Division I football. They have an entire wall dedicated to him at his high school of photos. We all go to schools where there's a ton of athletes that move on. Well, this wall you can see at Aberford's primary, secondary, and it's pretty unbelievable the fact that they're so proud of him up there.
No doubt. He's a heck of a player. Just picked up 8. 2nd down and 2. Again, Book throws on the run. Throws it to the sideline and into the bench.
Still got 2 more downs to pick it up, but something, wonder if it was holding on the other side of the field from the secondary.
Flags down right about at midfield.
Yeah, all the Georgia bench is pointing towards the Irish.
Illegal receiver downfield.
That's what happens when the quarterback gets out of the pocket. It takes so long. Those linemen might have been an RPO type play, right?
I was surprised on the previous play when he scrambled it through to Komet that they didn't have that call too. Here it is.
I wonder if it was the center, Jarrett Patterson, number 50.
An eligible receiver, downfield number 72. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's the right tackle, Hainsey.
So let's watch, see how far he gets down. You're allowed 3 yards. He blocks, he's less than 3. Oh yeah, at the end, he just kind of had a guy and then kind of fell off of him and stuck his arm out.
Book Throws into some traffic. In and out of the hands of the tight end again, and J.R. Reed again was there.
Well, and why wouldn't you be there? That's all they're throwing, right? I mean, the crossing routes, he's jumping every one of them. They're going to have to bring something across and then something behind them. That's the only way you're going to get deep.
They've been preaching havoc plays for the Georgia defense, and Jamie said, what's a havoc play? J.R. Reed said, you ready? Tackle for loss, a sack, a batted ball, a pressure that produced an incompletion, a fumble, or, in my case, an interception, which he had on the last series.
And when I played, that was called Chicago Bears every game.
They're down at 7. Book backpedaling. Now comes forward. He's going to run again, and he got the first down. Nice play by the Notre Dame quarterback.
All right, still a football game here. You know, if Notre Dame can get into the end zone, they're going to go onside kick. They're not going to give the ball back to Georgia. So now it's make a touchdown, and onside kick is the strategy.
They're in Georgia territory at the 49.
Every play, you know, draw play screens are an option, but right now it's all on the quarterback.
Just a 4-man rush. Now a late extra rusher as Book got a wide open commit into the Georgia secondary inside the 20. Oh, you talk about a tight end having a night.
You had 2 deep safeties, and you bring right up the seam route, right up the seam right there. Perfect. Well, kind of an odd look right there. Safety just jumped the count number 2. He starts out in the middle and runs right past the seam route to the outside.
Pick up a 31. And in the red zone, the Georgia 18-yard line. Here Book throwing to the end zone, just overshot. Claypool is intended receiver, and there's a flag down.
Yep.
Personal foul. Continued hands to the face. Number 74 on the offense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Eichenberg with another penalty. And that one is costly as far as they're going to walk it outside the 30-yard line.
Take a peek right here. Gets up.
I guess that would be a hand to the face.
Yeah. And on the play, Nolan Smith goes inside, and that's about textbook right there for hand to the face pass.
First and 25. Book throws. You got Fink trying to bring tackles. Gets down back to the 27. Richard LeCount stayed with him when we approached 4 minutes. Time is becoming important. Remember, Notre Dame's only got 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah, they've only got 1 path. Score onside kick.
Again, the noise getting to the offensive line a little bit. Book loads, fires, far sideline. What a catch by Claypool.
Yeah. What do they call it?
At the 4-yard line.
Wow, nice play. Great phase that time to the outside. McGee is right there, but Claypool leans. And does he fall out of bounds? They have to take a look at this.
Notre Dame's trying to go right now.
Kirby was even going to take a timeout to ensure they look at that
on the field with the catch in bounds. This play is under further review.
Kirby was running down there. You go, please tell me you're going to review this because I'm right here. And they said, no, we're going to review it. Does he come? Does anything get down?
Wow.
Does his right foot get down before he lands, though? Gene? I think his right foot came down.
Let's bring Gene in. This is a bang-banger, Gene.
I know, Brad, but Gary is right on it from where I sit, and I believe that right foot touches right before the backside of that receiver's body hits out of bounds.
If we can freeze it,
it's a great job.
We'll see some air. Now, my butt would have been on the ground. I'll tell you. Maybe years ago it might not, but right now my butt would have been on the ground. But this guy's got a skinnier butt than me.
Right there. Yeah. There's the foot and there's space. I agree. That's a great job by the officials, guys. You know, we get this luxury frame by frame to look at these plays. And I think at times we forget how fast this really is. And they get these plays in live action, and it's really fun to watch from where I am. And I do cheer for the officials at times.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Completed pass is what was called, and it stands. And it's 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Just to give us an idea, let's look at this in regular speed. That's what you officiate now. That's what those guys on the field are looking at.
Yeah, great call. Great point, Gene. And they do it all game, and we pick apart the bad ones. Kind of our job, but remember all the good ones they call.
1st and goal, Notre Dame. Ian Book, blitz coming, throws to the corner, Claypool, touchdown. They needed a score in a hurry. They got one.
Yeah, again, remember last time they were inside the 10, they threw. Well, they throw again. Let's see if the pressure, the pressure release. This time it's a stop. It's not a back shoulder, it's a stop. Kind of gives them a little bit of a shove. McGee, if you push with your elbow, you get away with it. McGee could not stop fast enough, and Claypool got away with it.
Claypool with his 2nd touchdown catch of the year, and a very, very big one.
I learned that from Chris Collinsworth back in the day. He goes, you can push with your elbow all day, they'll never call it.
Boy's extra point is up and good.
He was a Cincinnati Bengal when I heard that, by the way. But he was right.
There's a flag down on the extra point.
Offside. Multiple players on the defense. Penalty is declined. Point is good.
3-12.
So 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. The touchdown by Poole caps a 75-yard march in 10 plays, and the Irish are still very much in it. From the executive producer, Chuck Lorre, comes A Love Story Made in America. Catch the original comedy, Bob Hart's Avashola, premiering Monday after The Neighborhood on CBS. So a 75-yard drive, by far the best of the night for the Irish in 3:42 and 10 plays. And they're back to within 6.
Yeah, remember they blew 2 timeouts early in this half. Now they only have 1. The option, you either go onside kick, but if you want to chance it and kick it deep, you could get the ball if you do everything right with 1 timeout with about 1:30 to go. That's Brian Kelly's choice.
Georgia with a pooch kick here. Going to field it. And it's DeAndre Swift. Not a bad guy to have his hands on it, but they drop him in the open field nicely.
So that's a decision that Brian Kelly's made. If they do it right, get a 3 and out, and Georgia does everything right, running the ball and not going out of bounds, they could get the ball with 1:30 to go. If they don't get a 3 and out, game's over.
At the 24-yard line, Georgia with a 6-point lead and a veteran quarterback in Jake Fromm at the controls. And DeAndre Swift behind him. These Georgia players have not even seen the 4th quarter in the first 3 weeks of the season. James Cook on a sweep, and he's dropped by White. Loss of 4.
Drew White, what a play. Just be patient, Notre Dame. You don't need to burn a timeout. Maybe Georgia will throw and stop the clock.
Well, that middle linebacker out of Boca Raton, Florida, has had a big night, too.
Yeah. He has. And again, this game, without the options and everything that he's faced in the first game, he feels more comfortable. He's just got more experience. You can see it on tape.
2nd down and 14. 2.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Three wideouts and Charlie Warner, the tight end. They'll keep it on the ground, Georgia, though. DeAndre Swift just got back to the line of scrimmage.
Now they'll do it. Perfect. Can't run it any better. The defense did it. The decisions were firm. They know what they're doing. Brian Kelly took the timeout when I would have after 2nd down, but you had to have 2 stops. Now, what do you do if you're Kirby Smart? Do you let Jake Fromm throw the ball here?
Now, speaking of Jake Fromm, let's take a look at the GMC game changer. A lot of people have said to me, Jake Fromm has never really had to win a game and be big numbers as far as stats. Well, you know, he wins most of the time. Why do you care if he's got stats? And in this second half, he's been pretty special again, and now they're going to ask him probably to be special one more time here.
Well, here's what you got to think if you're calling plays for Georgia, though. If we let him pass, what are the odds that we can throw a 14-yard first down? Are we better off running the ball and burning 40 seconds off the clock? These are the decisions. First pressure play of the year for Georgia. Because if you punt it, you know, you're going to gain 35, 45 yards.
Unless you punt it like the first punt of the night.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we're about to find out if they're going to turn him loose or not.
One thing to point out, well, we'll wait. Let's watch this one.
Swift with Fromm in the backfield. Notre Dame might have jumped. Could be a free play. Fromm throws. Tipped. Incomplete. Intended for Simmons, but again, it looked like maybe somebody fell into the neutral zone.
Offside. Defense number 95. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Tagovailoa Amosa, so it's going to be 3rd down and 9 now.
Obviously, they were going to put the ball in the hands of the quarterback, weren't they? You got to trust Jake Fromm just enough. And a good snap that time by Troy Hill. I don't even know if he waited for the actual snap count. He saw him in the neutral zone and snapped it. Good play by Troy Hill that time, number 55.
So now 3rd down is shorter. Biggest play of the game.
He faked the snap, almost like a head bob, but he got away with it.
Fromm dropped the ball. Now throws deep. And it's incomplete, intended for Pickens. Pickens had his hand on it. Fromm somehow got the handle on that thing and got a pretty good pass away.
So by making an incomplete pass, they give Notre Dame 36 more seconds. And that was close. Again, remember what Gene told us before. When the defender doesn't look back, you're more likely to call pass interference. Pride is very fortunate to get away with that one. He had his hands on the collar of Pickens that time. A no call and got away with it.
Jake Camarda to punt. Fink is back deep. Oh, and another knuckleball of a punt.
Called it. He did.
He almost missed that thing. End over end, where are they going to spot it? 48-yard line.
You know what, let's go back to Kirby's decision, though, to kick the field goal. At least now he knows that they don't tie it with a field goal. They got to have a touchdown to win. That's why he went for that field goal. You got to give him credit for that decision. He forces Notre Dame to score a touchdown now instead of tying it with a field goal.
Ian Book was sensational on Notre Dame's last drive. Does he have any more magic left?
And the magic went through Claypool, number 83, and Komet, number 84.
Irish fans are back into it now. The whole country's probably back into it right now.
This is how you become a Notre Dame legend, pulling off one like this.
From the 48. Book, straight 4-man rush for Georgia. Flushed out of the pocket, throws on the run and completes it. Tony Jones out of the backfield.
Would have been better off having an incomplete. That's not enough yards. All that time for 2 yards is not worth it.
Try to set up in a hurry. Down to a minute 40 from the Georgia 49. Low snap. Book handles it. Comes up fire and complete to Claypool. Out of bounds with a first down.
That's too easy. Claypool has been just a go-to receiver. He's off by 15 yards. That must have been a corner blitz because the safety came over late on the play, bringing that corner cat, and Ian Book read it and delivered it.
First down. This time Georgia brings pressure. He lobs one, and it's just going to be over by the hedges. Georgia had not brought a lot of pressure until that point right there.
They've been bringing the corner, and it helped him on some, but on the last play, it burned him.
Second down and 10.
Nobody covered Claypool at all.
At the Georgia 40. Book goes short to Jones in the middle. Got only a couple yards out of it. He's tackled right in the middle of the field, and the clock will run. Georgia changes up their defense. Some new bodies coming in. His book brings up the Irish 3rd down and 9. Approaching a minute. Ian Book has to throw another one away. 3rd and 9, 4th and 9.
I was watching Cole Kmet run across the formation that time, and he was gassed. But you can't substitute for him. You got to run it out.
Here's your ball game. Irish need a 1st down. They've got to get to the Georgia 30. Book. Wait a minute. They blew the whistle. And Georgia took a timeout before the snap.
For the snap. Timeout.
And I think
Georgia.
the Notre Dame receivers are
Timeout.
thankful for that timeout.
30
They
seconds.
were gassed.
So the drama builds with just 58 seconds remaining and a 4th down and 9 upcoming. Well, this is a timeout for Notre Dame, too, to catch their breath.
As I said, the receivers needed it. I mean, you could tell the last few routes, Cole Kmet couldn't even get out of his stance, and they needed a blow. But, you know, as Georgia rotated their players, you're not going to rotate your good receiver. You got nobody else. So who do you go to? 83 or 84? I mean, that's been the money for the Irish offense in the second half.
Georgia's won 15 straight games in this stadium. Can they hang on and preserve number 16 against the 7th-ranked Irish of Notre Dame? 4th and 9.
It seems to me it would be hard to go again away from Claypool because he can win a 50-50 ball. He's at the bottom of the screen right here.
This is the ball game if Notre Dame doesn't get a 1st down. Book's in trouble. Giving chase, he's just going to lay it up in the middle of the field, and it's knocked down by Georgia. DJ Daniel got a hand on it, and you saw the exhale from Kirby Smart on the Georgia sideline.
Jermaine Johnson, number 11, and Nolan Smith, number 4, forced Ian Book into a Hail Mary. And this time, Ness, it wasn't answered.
No, it wasn't.
What an effort. Great effort by the team. He had almost no chance. He gets flushed right away. Nobody blocks Nolan Smith, number 4. Throws it up, saves it for one chance.
Claypool was out there, but he was double covered, and DJ Daniel out of Griffin, Georgia, got that hand on it right there.
Well, Notre Dame proved one thing. Everybody said they can't play with the elites.
Yes, they can.
They played with the elites.
Jake Fromm takes a knee. Ian Book has nothing to be ashamed of, nor does Brian Kelly and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
And I don't think this ends Notre Dame's playoff hopes either. It's a good enough game now that they run the table, things happen, they'll come back into the conversation.
Jake Fromm is 27-5 as the Georgia starting quarterback. He takes the final knee, and in front of 93,246, it's everything we expected, I think, and then some.
It's funny, it's everything we expected and everything we didn't expect at the same time.
That's true. Jake Fromm's with Jamie.
I can tell, Jake, you're just taking in the scene right now. How did this environment feel to play in?
It's a blessing. Praise God. This is unbelievable. The atmosphere we've had tonight, the game we played, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm so thankful to be on the field with my teammates, playing for Dog Nation. It's unbelievable. I'm so thankful.
2 years ago, Kirby's dad told him that was a big win against Notre Dame. How big is this win for you?
This is huge. This is huge. This is the first big, really home game, one that's been hyped up more than normal. This is unbelievable. We're so thankful the fans came out. They helped us on 3rd down a ton. This is unbelievable. We're thankful to be here.
How did your offense start to click more so in the second half than any other part of the game?
we knew we were close. It was the body blows. It was the physicality. We just kept hitting them. And they just finally started wearing on them. And so we started being able to run the ball more. We started making plays, throwing the ball, and it's just unbelievable.
How happy are you that you didn't have to face your own team defense tonight, because they were making some great tackles?
Yeah, they're great. They're nonstop. They're relentless, and that's what they did. They came out and played tonight.
Congratulations, Jake.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you.
The team over there with fans from the student section. And I think the Georgia crowd, as Jake said, was a major influence on the game. It caused Notre Dame to take at least 2 timeouts. Back to Jamie with Kirby Smart.
Wow.
Coach, you just said wow. Why?
That's what college football is all about, man. I hate that somebody had to lose that game, because I got a lot of respect for the way they played and all the negative things they've heard, and come out and play like they did. They played really physical as a team, and so did we. We persevered. I'm proud for our university. I'm proud for all the people in this community that support us. Just a great team effort.
They tested you all the way down the stretch. What did your defense show you on that side of the ball tonight?
A lot of perseverance. I mean, we got some guys on defense. We play a lot of players. Then we got 37 guys who played 25 or more plays, and they played hard tonight.
A big win against Notre Dame 2 years ago. How big was this one?
It was a big win because we had to come from behind. We got a lot of things to fix to get better down the road, but I'm proud of how our guys competed.
You have butterflies right now about this win?
No butterflies now. I had butterflies about 5 minutes ago.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Well, there's an honest answer from a coach who just got a big win in non-conference play, maybe the biggest non-conference game ever played in Athens, and Georgia holds on as the third-ranked Dogs win it 23-17. We'll be back in Athens to wrap it up. Coming up shortly, Brian Harry and Ian Book played his heart out. Just came up short. Not quite enough timeouts left near the end. And Daniel makes the play to knock down the final pass for the Georgia defense led by that guy. As Kirby Smart told Jamie, it's too bad that one quarterback can have that kind of feeling. And on the other side, a guy that played his heart out has to have that kind of feeling. Final score is 23-17. Georgia holds on at home. And now it's time for the play of the game presented by Jersey Mike's Subs. It came in the fourth quarter. Georgia only had a 3-point lead, but they went on an 82-yard drive in 8 plays in 4 minutes, and this was the capper. Lawrence Cager on the throw from Jake Fromm. That put him ahead to stay. And here's how Scott Howard called it for the Georgia Radio Network.
Here we go again. All right, on third down, Fromm going to throw it to the corner of the end zone. Cager makes an adjustment, makes the catch. Did he get the foot in? Yeah! Touchdown, Lawrence Cager, spinning in the air, getting a foot in out of the side of the left corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Cager. Touchdown, Georgia.
And the Dogs go on to win it here in front of a record crowd. 93,246 were in this place. Another 93,246. 5 years from now, we'll say that they were in this place. 23-17, good game, Gary.
It was. You know, I think for Notre Dame, Brian Kelly said his team was better than it was in 2017. No doubt about it. Yep. They're better. Georgia needs some work, but you can see they're going to make a run at this thing, at the playoffs again. They've got a lot of good players.
Yeah, they're going to be partying in Athens tonight. A lot of them just still hanging around, just enjoying the feeling of a win over number 7 Notre Dame. 23-17 the final. That's going to wrap it up for us. For Gary Danielson and Jamie Iredell, Brad Nessler saying so long from Athens. Final score, Dogs 23, Irish 17. Don't forget, join us next week in Tuscaloosa for the Tide and the Rebels of Ole Miss. You've been watching the Home Depot SEC on CBS. Good night from Athens.